I've been thinking about this, trying to add YouTube to the stream I do on Sundays. I've been thinking about that, right? It's just becoming a challenge um, for me at the moment. But yeah, I need to figure out how to do that because of the app I'm using. So, but I'll figure that out. Yeah. So salam to all of you. I see Richard Green, the law of the one, JS, Hakilo, Brother Helal, Maggie, Brother Elliot's, um, is it Cherkus, man? I love the growth of the Muslim community. Thank you. Shrab, can you explain if hijab is in Quran? Do we have to wear it while praying? Um, hijab that is mentioned in the Quran has nothing to do with covering the hair. The word hijab has been used in the Quran, but not related to hair covering. So covering the hair is not a requirement in the Quran. It's not a command. People will try to twist, interpolate words and say, hey, he mentioned khimar, he mentioned, no, where did they say, take your khimar and cover your heads? No mention of that. People will assume that khimar automatically means head covering. No, that's not true. It is the advent of the scholars trying to interpolate the word head together with the word scarf. The word literally means scarf. Scarf. That is khimar, scarf. In plural form, khumur. So the word head was later on added, head scarf, right? But that's just to substantiate the argument from the hadith point of view. But it is a bogus claim because nowhere in the Quran did we see any prophet of God whose wife has been commanded to cover her hair. Nowhere, nowhere. Remember, prophet was asked to follow the millata Ibrahima, and Ibrahim had his wife in the Quran mentioned. No relative instruction, cover your hair, nothing of that sort, right? Yeah. So covering the hair is optional. If a lady feels like she wants to cover, if you read the story of Maryam, that some of the decisions Maryam made was personal. It doesn't go against God, but you don't have to lie against God and say God commanded that. And that's why Sunnis will never step forward to debate us on such topics. I dare any Sunni, a learned one, not the one with heebie-jeebies, to face me and prove to me where it says a woman should cover the hair. It doesn't exist, right? To prove there are 5 prayers in the Quran, it doesn't exist. To prove to follow the Sunnah in the Quran, it doesn't exist. So these are arguments they will struggle to face somebody who is learned in that field to justify. It's not there. They will only stand far away and start takfiring us, calling us kafir and whatever have you. Yes, Iske, I see you. Salam to you. Junior London, Gambia, I see you. Brother Hanif, I see you. Salam to you. Aladdin. Sunflower. Yes, I've answered that. Dragonfly. Fatu. Amina Danjuma. This sound like a Ghanaian name. Yeah. Roman Abdullahi. So one in Jamaica. Yeah. The AI has been doing you dirty. I'm serious. I think it thinks I'm not handsome, so it has to use somebody who is some to replace my image. So yeah, Bobby, like the live. Yes, thank you, Johnny M. Falkner. Yes, peace to you, Bob Khan. Yandu, who is this takfirist? AK-47, I see you. Peace to you. Peace to all those who are joining. I appreciate you. Just me. Salam to you. LM Toure, Noru Sobriety. Yeah, guys, thank you all. Thank you all. Kindly share. AJ, greetings. Kindly share so other people can join. Babs Jat, Realtor Venture. Salam. Seaman Tech, I see you. Jamila, salam to you. Is it Halid Ismail? No problem. Zakaria, I see you. Salam to you. Please make a video on hijab. I already have a video on that. It's an old video, but I'll be making a new one. Yeah, I'll be making a new one, right? Tori says, I don't believe in covering my hair, but I have to do it because of my family. There's nothing wrong. It's a personal choice, right? If you want to do it to feel okay, fine. But it's not a requirement that in Islam that a woman must. So anybody who asks you who said it's a must, ask them whether Eve, the wife of Adam, her hair was covered. Just ask the simple question: was Adam's wife hair covered? Her hair was not covered, and the devil was next to them, right? Iblis was next to them. So if the covering was a requirement since day one, then yeah, she's been roasted. Okay, guys, thank you all. Thank you all. So in the beginning, I played a video. Um, XFZ says, Baba, any update on revisiting the Children of Israel topic? Yes, there is an update. I'll be doing that hopefully before this year comes to an end. I just need to find a schedule to put it. But it's just that these Sunnis cannot leave us alone. They keep coming for us, so I need to respond. So that is the reason. But yes, I'll be finding a date, a proper date to put it in my schedule so that I can talk about that, right? But for now, till now, just enjoy the old video. As soon as I put a new video, I will take down the old video. So be enjoying in that. Peace, Ambassador says, my brother, is it doubt if you are a Muslim? It's a must for Muslim women to cover. The English is it not even English. So guys, I played a video in the beginning. This video has to do with the pagans who are against Islam trying to twist and interpolate or put a misunderstanding to what God is saying, because many a times this is what they do. They just don't understand what God is saying, so they have to twist the narrative, right? So let me play. This is the video. I played this video.
Some so-called beautiful names of Allah used in the Quran prove that Allah is Satan. He's called deceiver, mischief maker, the misguider.
Does this statement actually make sense? In the Quran, we have Hizbullah and Hizbul Shaitan. We have God and we have the devil. In the same Quran, it's mentioned. Now, then you have somebody with heebie-jeebies saying that Allah in the Quran is Iblis. Then Iblis is who? I don't understand this. So, God in the Quran is Iblis, according to this bozo. So then, Iblis in the Quran is who? Okay, but let's listen to their flimsy arguments.
Does that sound like a God you should trust and follow? I find it.
He says, does that sound like a God? But the funny part is, at the end, these guys are Christians, and I don't think they read their own Bible, because the Bible, the God of the Bible is worse, right? He I don't think they themselves read their own Bible, right? If they do, they will not be criticizing the Quran. So that is my problem with um, certain Christians who I call pagan Christians, because they have no idea what their Bible says, and they have no idea what God is about. So out of their shallow way of thinking, they try to limit God in a scope of being like an ordinary human being. Like the things we can attribute to human beings, that's the things they want to attribute to God. So without understanding God, then they blaspheme God by thinking, okay, since they are against Islam, so let them just use any means to just make Islam look bad, right? So many a times you see them using certain words. Yeah, many a times you see them using certain words just to look down on God, whilst forgetting that this concept is far worse in what is found in their Bible. So um, I will show you something, right? uh, I'll show you something from when they make a statement. I'll draw a contrast from their Bible to let you see that they don't pay attention to what they have in their books before attacking Islam, right? So just a second. Just a second. Yeah. So many a times what they do is when they go into the Quran, out of their misunderstanding, when they take a verse out of context, then they try to just use words against God by blaspheming God. So let me show you some of the issues they have.
Troubling that many Muslims don't know that Allah has at least 5 names that proves that he is nobody else than Satan in disguise.
Does it make sense? They said because God has at least 5 names that prove that God is a Satan in disguise. So we are going to see their argument. What is the argument?
And here's a list of names that I want to share with everybody. Take his conclusion that Allah is nobody else but Satan in disguise. The first name, Al-Mutakabbir, the arrogant one.
So when you take Arabic, this is the Arabic language of the Quran. It works in this way. Every word has multiple meanings. It just doesn't have one meaning, right? For example, the word haram with a ha, not ha, ha. Haram, it can mean sacred and it can mean forbidden, right? Something which is outlawed. And at the same time, it can mean something which is sacred. The same word haram. So you have to understand in which context it's used, right? It can be used in a good sense and it can be used in a bad sense. So just because it says al-mutakabbir does not necessitate it equates to the type of arrogance the devil would do. No, that's not the same thing. Because if you say God is the devil, how come God is punishing the devil in the Quran? If you say God is the devil, right? It doesn't make sense. Hey, God logic, I see you, right? It doesn't make sense to say God is the devil when God is actually punishing the devil in the Quran and he's telling you what will happen to the devil on the day of judgment, according to Quran chapter 14, verse 22. Then you have people telling you God is the devil. Doesn't make sense. In the Quran, we have Allah and we have Iblis. So if you say God is Iblis, then there's some heebie-jeebies going on. The brain is not brain anymore. So now they go to the Quran, then they see the word al-mutakabbir, since it can mean the arrogant. So that means automatically God is the devil because it also means the arrogant. So the proper translation, when you use the word overbearing, but the same word can be used for arrogance. But in the Quran, God gives the criteria of arrogance, different criteria. There's arrogance with justification. It's allowed in the Quran. Chapter 7, verse 146. When you are arrogant without justification, God is going to leave you to go astray. But there is arrogance with justification. We saw Solomon did the same. We saw Abraham did that type of arrogance. We saw Moses did that type of arrogance. That those type of arrogance are justified. And when people don't understand this, then they think, okay, being arrogance is the trait of the devil automatically, right? So that is another misconception. But let's go ahead and see what they're saying.
Allah is arrogant? Where do we find this, brother? Doesn't sound like God to me. How can God be arrogant?
And the Bible God does worse than this. He's far way arrogant, and he's to the extent jealous God. He's far worse than what is what the Quranic God described itself to be. The Bible God is worse, right? But I will be using that as an counter argument, and you listen to what the Bible God represents. Is far worse than that. He even sent people to go and terminate children, kids. Yes. So you let them keep going.
Name number 2, Ad-Dar, the distresser, someone.
He says Adar. Now, when you go through the Quran, these names he's mentioned, not all of them is attributed to God in the Quran. It's not a name. The one which is correct, Al-Mutakabbir, overbearing, is used in Quran chapter 59, Surah Al-Hashr, chapter 59, verse 23 to 24. Yes, it's used there. But this Adar, he's mentioned certain names which are not found in the Quran. It is actually extracted from the Hadith books and not from the Quran, right?
who distresses you. Should God not give you comfort?
He's the one who caused you harm.
Name number 3.
So then the guy goes ahead to say he's the one who caused you harm. So does that make God evil? If that is the case, go to the book of Isaiah 45 verse 7. If you go to the book of Isaiah, let me give you several examples in the book Bible, right? So for instance, if you go to the Bible, when it is defining God, for instance, before we go to the book of Isaiah, let's go to the Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 39. It says, see now that I, and even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. Then he says, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So God can harm you. I wound and I heal. Do you see this issue there? Right? So it's just like living in a glass house. You are staying in a glass house and throwing stones. Right? They stay in the glass house and throwing stones. Apart from that, Isaiah 45:7. If you read the book of Isaiah 45:7, let me show you this Bible verse for you to see something from that. They are leaving their back door open to be struck. So this is what Christians do, and I won't say every Christian, but the pagan Christians, that's what they do. So you go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah 45 verse 7, right? So when you go verse 7, it says, I form the light, create darkness, and make peace, and create evil. This is the God of the Bible. He said, I form the light and create darkness, I make peace and create evil. Isaiah 45 verse 7 of the Bible. Check it for yourself. So now they are here saying that, oh, God, Adar, it's not his name in the Quran, by the way. This is from the Hadith. But he says Adar because God can harm somebody who can harm. So that means God is the devil, right? So that, if that is the case, the God of the Bible creates evil. Devil? Okay. Salam Abida, I see you. You're welcome. So let's continue.
Al-Mudil or Al-Muzil, the humiliator.
So he gave God the name Al-Muzil, which is not a God's name. It's not part of the names of God in the Quran, right? If you want to know the names of God in the Quran, if you have my PDF version of the Quranic translation the Great Quran, you see it on the last page before after the appendix is there. You get the names in the Quran. We have the attributes of God, qualities of God, names of God. They are the names which God actually gave us in the Quran. Furthermore, those extra names you find are coming from the Hadith books and not authorized by God. Remember that. So Al-Muzil, he's giving him that name Al-Muzil, and he's saying that what? The humiliator. The humiliator. The last time I checked, the God of the Bible have done similar things. He has humiliated people, right? If you deserve humiliation, he will humiliate you. Yes. But if you call God the humiliator, where did God call himself those names in the Quran? There's nowhere God called himself the humiliator. I am the humiliator. Where does he say that? Right? So this is where when you find them one-on-one in the dialogue debates, they look stupid because they cannot justify their claims. And you always watch when Christians hop on my platform here, you see how I make them look stupid. They have no clue what the Quran says, right? Okay. So let's continue.
God will humiliate people. Doesn't sound like God to me. It sounds like Satan again. Very famous one, number 4. Al-Makir.
You don't find anywhere in the Quran God calls himself Al-Makir. I'm the deceiver. Nowhere. Nowhere in the Quran. Will you find God calling himself Al-Makir? What kind of attributes are you giving to it? These are coming from the books of the devil. That's the Hadith garbage trash book. Those books, yes, from the devil. God already told us in Quran chapter 6, verse 112 to 113. Yes, those books are fabricated books from the devils. So yes, if you get those names, find it there.
The deceiver. Allah in chapter 3, Surah Ali Imran, ayah 54, he used this name. Look, وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. Allah
So now this is what they fail to understand. And I said many of the Christians, when they listen to the Quran, is just like it's mentioned here. Let me give you the verse. In Quran chapter 41, verse 26, this is God already knows they will do this, right? So this is what God says concerning some of the Christians. He says, وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَا تُسْمِعُوا لِهَذَا الْقُرْآنِ وَالْغَوْا فِيهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ taglibun. He says, and those who disbelieve say, do not listen to this Quran and the falsity therein, perhaps you will overcome. Okay, so what these people do is, he's quoting chapter 3, verse 54, and I'm going to show you the misunderstanding here. So now, God says, وَمَكَرُوا, then he says, وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ. They are scheming. The evil people are scheming against God. Like, they are scheming. The correct translation for that word in that context is scheming. Then he says, وَمَكَرُ and God schemed, right? To plan a strategy, to strategize something. So they fail to realize that. And most of the times I see pagan Christians doing that, forgetting that in Arabic, one word has multiple meanings. The context decides what it means. So they schemed and God schemed, and God is the best of schemers. But when you are dealing with a bozofied person who doesn't understand how words work in context, they will just choose a particular meaning to suit their agenda because they have evil agenda. So now they go with the evil agenda and say the deceiver. So God deceives and did no. And this kind of people will never step forward one-on-one to face Baba Shrike. No, they will not do that. Yes, I'll make them look stupid. Yes. Right? Okay, let's continue.
Allah is clearly the best of deceivers. So Allah is the best deceiver, meaning nobody can out-deceive Allah. Another proof that Allah is Satan. And the last name, this is the one that I gave Allah, and I have proved why I'm giving it to Allah.
Hey, so he is even giving God a name. You know, they do that to their gods always in the Bible and so on. They give him jealous God. They give him names like that. So they do that. So now he wants to give our God a name. Now listen to this pagan.
Al-Fattan, the mischief maker.
You heard clearly he gave God that name. God didn't call himself that, right? Okay.
Brother, when you hear such a name, is this fitting for a living God?
And
the fool forgets that he was the one who created that name for God. Then he is now saying, whenever you hear that name, is it befitting for a living God? No, it's not befitting because God didn't give himself that name. So you see, I always tell people, when you listen to people online, listen to them critically and carefully. They will give you the results of how bozofied they are. Forget about trying to say you want to prove them wrong. Even during listening to them, you see how stupid they are before they even end their statements. And correctional officer is here for that type of reason, to show you both the mushriks, the Christians, everybody talking against Islam. I am going to prove to you how bozofied they are when they are uttering their nonsense. Yes. He just gave God that name. Then he is saying again, is this name befitting for a living God? But listen.
here is the troubling part. They call those the beautiful names of Allah. What is
No. The only name you mention among the list, which was part of the names of God, is Al-Mutakabbir. Yes, God says he owns us. He gives life, he takes it back. Now, that's arrogance, but it with justification. What you don't understand is you think when we say somebody is arrogant, automatically is evil. No. Somebody can be arrogant in his own rights, then somebody can be arrogant without right. It's two justifications here. When you are arrogant with right, you can be right in something, other people will call you arrogant in their perspective because you are right. Are you getting the point? Then we have people who can be arrogant without justification. That is another arrogance, but in an evil way. Then we have arrogance, which is justified by God in front of God. This is what pagans don't understand. But the other names you gave God is not given to God. Is that those names is not part of God's name in the Quran. All this, and including the one you made up at the end. But well, you don't listen to yourself anyways.
What is so beautiful about these?
Look what it says. وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ fitnatan. Do you hear the word fitnatan? So who is causing the mischief? Fitna means.
Oh my God. Again, you see, when God is talking in context, these people take it out of context to make their case. Then, because God says, we have made some of you as a trial for other people, because of the word fitna, they think always the one word has to mean the same thing every time. The word fitna in the Quran can mean a trial. It's a test, trial. Right? If you read Quran chapter 29, verse 2 to verse 3, God says, do you think you'll be left alone to say you believe whilst you are not being tested? Huh? It has been used as a verbal form to let you know God will try you, will put you to the test, will tempt you. So the word fitna doesn't always mean mischief. But listen to what this bozo will say.
Means mischief. Allah is the one causing mischief among.
Do you see what the devil does? He decided to use the evil meaning of the word to put it in that context and then give his own interpretation. Yes, Brother Elliot, I see you. Akikatan, Brother Tamir, all of you. Salam. So this is what they do. So when you are listening to these pagans, listen to them carefully. All these allegations they are putting forth can be found in their Bible. I'm not joking with you. All these allegations can be found in their own Bible. And that's why out of their hypocrisy, when it comes to eating pork meat, then they say, no, for a Christian it's allowed. Then they choose, they cherry pick the laws they want to follow. Some laws, they say, yeah, it's in the book of Moses. We believe in the Bible, the whole of the Bible. But some laws, they say, no, this one we don't follow. Even though it says they should kill the children of Israel, with that one we don't follow. Jesus said, no, we cannot follow. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17 to 18. Jesus said he did not come to abolish the law. Yes, he came to fulfill. Even one jot and one tittle will not get missing from it. You have to follow the Old Testament. But tell me, which Christian here dares to follow the Old Testament? None of them. They will not dare follow it. They are hypocrites. I'm serious. They are following a book which Jesus has no idea. The New Testament, Jesus has no idea of that book. He never gave them. You ask the Christians, who gave them New Testament? Was it Jesus? No. No. Jesus has no idea what book they even call New Testament. He doesn't know. Wallahi. Jesus doesn't know New Testament. He doesn't know which book is that. Who gave them? Oh, we don't know.
Human beings. Last ayah that I want to show you is chapter 14, Surah Ibrahim, ayah 4. It says literally here that Allah is the one who is leading people astray.
You see how they go out of context again. And it says here literally God is the one leading people astray. Before leaving people astray, not leading. The word doesn't say leading you astray. You see, when they are using choice of words, they choose the words that suit their agenda to make the words of God look, as a failure. That is what pagan Christians do. And any of the Christians who are against Islam, that is what they do. I'm serious. The popular apologetics you see online, you see David Wood, you see Sam Shampoo, you see God Logic. You mentioned them. All of them. That's what they do with the Quran. Yes, they just go twist words to suit their agenda, and then they pass on their own understanding. That's what they do. Right? So listen what he did. He quoted chapter 14, verse 4. But if I'm quoting the verse in full, listen what God says. Chapter 14, verse 4. Check how God narrates the issue here. So God says, and we do not send a messenger except in the language of his people in order to clarify to them. Then God sends astray whomever he wills and guides whomever he wills. Now, this is the choice God makes. God has shown you the path of guidance. You have to now decide which one you want to follow. When you decide, he can watch you. He can decide to force you to be guided, but he leaves you. He leaves you to go astray. That becomes your own choice because you chose the path of error and somebody else chose the path of guidance. So he will watch both of you doing what you like. So he will not play any role inside. That is why we use the word leaves somebody astray, because he can decide to push you by force and guide you. But if he does that to you, you will call him unjust. So according to Quran chapter 10, verse 44 to 45, when you read, it says, God never wrongs the people. It is the people who wrong themselves. Yeah, peace to you, Samantha. It is the people themselves who wrong themselves. It is not God wronging us. So this is why when you go to Quran chapter 18, verse 29, it says, the truth is from your Lord. Whoever wills, let him believe. And whoever wills, let him disbelieve. It's a choice. So when God says he leaves whomever he wills astray, he has already shown you the guidance. So now you decide. You want to go left? Do you want to go right? If you choose, that's up to you. He will not force you and say, hey, why did you choose left? Come and follow right. No. Do you see how it works? So when you read Quran chapter 2, verse 256, this is the reason why God says there is no compulsion in the religion. And this is what he says. La ikraha fi din qad tabayyana rushd min al-ghayy. Then he says, faman yakfuru bit-taghut wa yu'minu billahi faqad istamsaka bil urwati uthqa. Then he says, lam fisama laha wallahu samiun alim. There is no compulsion in the religion. The right guidance has become clear from the error. So whoever disbelieves in idols and believes in God, then he has held on to a certified bond which will not break. And God is hearing and omniscient. So now it's a choice. He has given you the choice to choose whether you want to go right or you want to go left. He's not going to force you and say, hey, why did you choose left? Come and follow right. No. He can decide to guide you. So that is when, in the proper context, we say he leaves you astray or he sends you astray because he didn't make that effort to bring you back, because he gave you a choice, a free will. Because he's going to judge you on the day of judgment based on your free will.
Allah ma yasha wa yahdi man yasha. Meaning Allah misguides. He misguides whoever he likes and he guides whoever he likes. So basically, in the hands of Allah, you're nothing but a puppet and Allah is the puppeteer. If Allah for one day decides, even if you are the best Muslim, Allah one day can decide for you to misguide you out of Islam.
You see what they do? You see what he just did there? We tell God in Quran chapter 3 verse 8, Rabbana la tuzi qulubana ba'da iz hadaytana. Our Lord, do not deviate our hearts after you have guided us. And God said he never deviates his servants after he has given them guidance. God never does that. Right? He never does that. Quran chapter 9, verse 115. Quran chapter 9, write it down. Chapter 9, verse 115. He said, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِلَّ قَوْمًا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَاهُمْ. God says God is not to misguide a people after he has guided them. Then he says what? Hatta, until he makes clear to them what they should beware of. Hatta yubayyina lahum ma yattaqun. Then he says, Inna Allah bi kulli shay'in alim. But pagan Christians don't understand this. So God has given answers to all these issues they don't understand. Because they don't know the Quran, that is what they do. They like to follow the words of men rather than the words of God. So yes, this is what they will keep doing. Quran chapter 9 verse 115, God says, and God is not to misguide a people after when he has guided them. Do you see the point? Until he makes clear to them what they should beware of. So because he has given you free will to decide if you want to follow left or right. So why will God now guide you and then he decide, okay, now this guy is too guided. I don't like his guidance. He's too guided. Let me send him astray. He's too guided. I don't like that. You see the mindset of pagans. That's how they are thinking for God. That's how they are thinking for God, right? Yes, guys, thank you for those sending the gift and super chat. I appreciate it. Let's continue.
So why should you trust Allah in any shape or form, brother? What kind of God is this? Surely this cannot be God, as we showed you. Nobody else but Satan in disguise. Please leave Islam and come back home to your Lord and my Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
God have mercy upon us.
Now, on the tip of the iceberg, then they make things far worse. Then they say you should come to their Lord Jesus Christ. That's where they made it worse. I'm serious. They even made it worse now. Right? You call God the devil, and now you say you are calling people to come and worship Jesus. Idol worship, worse. You see, so this is the pagans we have out there. Yes, people like Sam Shampoo, David Wood, God Logic, they all support this ideology. Right? They worship Jesus, by the way. Anyways, let's continue. So I played another video which has to do with now let me give you this video, the mental breakdown, this one.
Wallahi, this is for all you hadith rejectors. How do you pray salah? How do you know the names of the salahs? How do you know what time to pray these salahs? How do you know how many rakats you're supposed to pray? How do you know the complete shahada? How do you know the 4 rakats? How do you know the 7 tawafs in the Hajj? How do you know the Eid Salah and how to perform it? How do you know you have to give 2.5% in zakat? How do you know about Ramadan, Sahur, Iftar exemptions, Taraweeh prayers?
Because when we
God have mercy upon us.
Salam to all those who are joining. The guy is having a mental breakdown, right? And this is a typical type of Sunni questioning, like with authority. They ask you some of the dumbest questions. How do you know how to do this? How do you know how to sleep with your wife? How do you know how to kiss your wife? How do you know how to do this? How do you know how to do that? How do you know how to do this? Yeah. You only get this kind of questions from Sunnis. Mental breakdown. Yeah, it's just ridiculous how they just go on a rampage. If you're going to follow the Quran alone, tell me how you are going to do this. How do you fly? How do you use your phone? How do you watch your TV? How do you use your shower? How do you go to the gym? Hey, Sunnis, why? Hey, you know, listen to one of the stupid questions they will normally ask you. This is some of yeah, they ask you, if you're going to follow the Quran, how do you know the name of your mother? They will ask you all that. Listen.
because when
Wallahi, this is for all you hadith rejectors.
So this is a message for we the hadith rejectors. That is the garbage trash rejectors. They have a message for trash. I told you, we have become their worst nightmare. So we are giving them a mental breakdown these days. They can go one week or one day without mentioning us. Now, right? We are giving them a headache, something to think about. And they will not come out to face us in the debate. So watch.
How do you pray salah?
So how do you pray salah? You know that usual question, right? That is number one. So that was the first question. That is their usual question. Do you remember that? How do you pray? Don't forget that. That's the first highest question the Sunni will ask you. How do you pray?
How do you know the names of the salahs?
So how do you know the name of the salats? Even though they are in the Quran, they are going to ask you, he doesn't know. Because some of the dumbest questions they will ask, they will go to the extent to ask you, how do you do ablution? It tells you how they don't know the Quran. So how do you know the names of the salat? It tells you how dumb they can be because they don't study the Quran. To know that in the Quran, it's clearly written there, the names of the salat. Salat al-Fajr is there, chapter 24, verse 58. Salat al-Fajr is there. Salat al-Isha is there, 24, verse 58. Salat al-Wusta is mentioned, chapter 2, verse 238. They don't see it because they don't study the Quran. They only go with the flow of what the scholars have told them. I have one. My eyebrow. My eye, this thing, lash has gone into my eye. Anyways,
How do you know what time to pray these salahs?
so how do you know what time to pray this salat? They still don't study the Quran to see that God has given the breakdown to the times for the salat. They don't see that because they don't study the Quran, right? So to him, he's asking some of the toughest question according to his logic. He thinks that is a big, big, big question. Yeah.
How do you know how many rakahs you're supposed to pray?
How do you know how many rakat you are supposed to pray? Because the hadith has to tell you that, akhi. If you don't follow our garbage books, how can you know the rakat? Even though rakat is not mentioned in the Quran, why are you doing it? Because our hadith, bro, our hadith give you these answers, bro. This guy looks like somebody who talks like that, bro.
How do you know the complete shahada?
How do you know the complete shahada? Because it's not complete in the Quran. How do you know, akhi? Hey, bro. Bro, seriously, how do you know the complete shahada? Because it's not complete in the Quran, bro. So how do you do the shahada? You are doing half in the Quran. Because in the hadith we have full. We have ashadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashadu anna muhammadan abdu wa rasuluh. This is complete. In the Quran you have half. Chapter 37 verse 35. Chapter 3 verse 18 is half. So bro, if you follow the Quran alone, how do you know how to do complete shahada? The Quran is not complete, akhi. But I thought the Quran is complete. Yes, bro. Yeah, Quran is complete, but bro, you know, you can't. Okay, how do you pray? How do you pray, bro? Bro, guys, I'm showing you how these people are having a mental breakdown. What is called logic, they don't have it. I'm serious. Logic doesn't exist in the books of Sunni, so the brain is not functioning. Let's continue.
How do you know the 4 rakats?
How do you know the 4 rak'at? I thought he already asked about the rak'at already. So how do you know the 4 rak'at? Is it 4 rak'at? Because I thought they had 17. 2 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, another 4 in the afternoon. Then you have 3 in the evening. Then you have 4 again. So how? What do you mean? How do I know the 4 rak'at? It's 17 rak'at for God's sake. And according to your hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari 350, it was 10 rak'at given to the Prophet. How did he become 17? I have no idea. Seriously.
How do you know the 7 tawafs in Hajj?
How do you know the 7th tawaf in the Hajj? That 7, the one they have to go around the idol for 7. How do you know that, akhi, if you don't follow the hadith? Because the Quran is not complete, akhi. Why are you wasting your time following the book which is not complete? Come to us, akhi. We have the garbage books. It has everything there, akhi. It shows you how to sleep with your wife there. Why you leave that book? You go and follow Quran. Quran doesn't show you anything, akhi. That is how what he's telling us right now. That's how he sounds.
How do you know the Eid Salah and how to perform it?
How do you know the Eid Salat and how to perform it? Even though it's not in the Quran, akhi. The Eid is not there. Eid Salat. It's not in the Quran. But how do you know how to perform it, akhi? Bro, why do you leave these books? We have these garbage books to go and follow one book, even though it's from God. It doesn't have these answers there, akhi. Wallahi, you are a kafir. When you follow that book, God, even though it's complete, but you are a kafir, akhi. Huh? Why do you follow one book? We have 6 books. Akhi, something is wrong with you. Why will you leave 6 books? You follow one book? Akhi, majority carries the vote. Even though God says in Quran chapter 6 verse 116 that if you follow the majority, you go astray. But akhi, this one is very different. The 6 we follow is different. We are the majority. We are the best, bro.
How do you know you have to give 2.5% in zakat?
Yes, how do you know the tax, the 2.5 we are charging? How do you know if you don't come and follow our book? Bro, why you follow only one book? That one book doesn't give you that answer, bro. You follow one book and we have 6 books. It has, look, bro, it has all the answers we have. Why you follow only one book? You follow one book, you don't find everything there. You come, we have 6 books. Kutubu Sitta. It has everything, bro. Yes, bro, everything.
you know about Ramadan, Sahur, Iftar exemptions, Taraweeh prayers?
You see? If you follow the Quran alone, how do you know the iftar, sahur and everything, iftar, taraweeh? How do you know this, bro? How? Tell me. You follow the book of God alone? Why? I you follow one book. Wallahi, you are astray. Come and follow our garbage books. You can be guided with our garbage books, even though the Prophet didn't give us. But yes, we follow that one. We feel safe. Those garbage books is safe for us, mashallah. You follow one book of God, you're kafir, akhi. Wallahi, you are kafir. I tell you. One book, we have 6 books.
Because when we
So let's go to the other video. So this video, this guy, he was being asked a question concerning apostasy, and check what he guys did you hear the scam he just did to him? The scam part. It's just like in a business, crypto business or anything. Then they will tell you, you just put your money. We see what happens when after you put your money. I'm asking you, will I get money? Would I get profit right now? You say, Akhi, don't worry about the profit. You just put your money. After we get your money, we tell you if you get profit or not. Hey, Mushriks, why? Why? The guy is asking you a genuine question to know if he comes to Islam and he decide to go out, is he going to face the law of apostasy according to you? Then you tell him, Akhi, I'm not going to answer you. So you join Islam. Join. After you join, when you are about to go out, then we will decide. Hey, oh Allah. Hey Allah, mushrikenga. Hey. Hey. Look, these mushriks are just amazing. Yes, Hassan can. The mushriks are just amazing. Because they make up their own laws and rules, not from God. They make up their own legislation in the Sunni cult and the sectarian religion. It is not from God. So they are the deciders. The guy is literally asking you a simple question. If God has the answer, there is no law of apostasy in the Quran that it says when somebody is a Muslim and decide to become a kafir, you have to terminate them. No such law. According to chapter 5, verse 54, that is in the hands of God to decide. Then you have these scholars telling you, according to their hadith books, that whoever changes his religion, terminate him, according to their hadith books. Yes. That's what they say. Whoever changes his religion, take his life off, according to Sahih al-Bukhari 6922. Yes. Write it down and check. So now the person wants to know, will I be terminated if I join you, the Sunnis, and I want to go out? Will you buy me? He wants to know. Then the guy is telling him, you join first. After you join, we will talk. No, thank you. No. No, I'm not. Even if it's in a business world, and I'm telling you, I want to invest. Then I'm asking you, this investment, will I get something? And then you tell me, Akhi, I'm not going to tell you if you get 5%. I'm not telling you. You invest. After you invest, I tell you. What if I invest and my investment locks? Hey, Sunnis, what brain are they using? What type of brain? That brain needs to be banned. Whichever shop sells that brain, please ban it from the world. Ban that brain. Hey, Zain says, yes, we will decide whether to terminate you or slowly or quick. Wallahi, Sunnis are scammers. Hey. You see, at the end, he was laughing. Wallahi, these people are scammers in Islam. Wallahi, wallahi. We call it scammers. 419, 419 in Ghana. When you say 419 or Nigeria, when you use the word 419, it's for scam. This is a scamming religion. Yes. And these are the questions I want you to be asking your imams, your scholars, about the breastfeeding of an adult, about terminating you when you leave Sunni religion. You know, about all these things. Ask them. Can I marry a CCSOG? Ask them all these questions and see how embarrassing they look in their eyes. Yes. This is why they will not face me in the debate. I will ask them these questions in the debate. I've done it with Siddiq Bozo. Go and check my debate with Siddiq. The Bozo guy who is shouting, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." Did God ask you to follow Sunnah? What is Sunnah in the first place? What is Sunnah in the first place? Sunnah, I need to tell your audience what Sunnah means. I'm the one asking you. And you want to tell my audience? No, answer me. Brainless. Anyways, but let's go to the next video. The next video has to do with this guy. Let me put his video here. Yeah, this boy.
If I told you that people, even at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, used to treat the Quran and the Prophet as two separate entities. Yes, you heard me correctly. People used to treat the Wahid, the Quran and the Prophet as two different things. The Quraysh tribe in specifically used to affirm the claim that the revelation was true, but they never took from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This might start sounding a little familiar because Quranists that only affirm the Quran in today's age do the same thing. Quran actually responds to this in Quran chapter 4 verse 113. And Allah has sent down to you the book and the wisdom, al-hikmah, and taught you what you did not know. And for your information, scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir has interpreted al-hikmah as the Prophet's sunnah. Furthermore, not to mention Quran chapter 4 verse 80, which states that whoever has obeyed the messenger has obeyed Allah. See how obedience to both is emphasized, they're almost equal. I can keep going. Quran chapter 59 verse number 7, whatever the messenger has gave you, take from it, and whatever he forbids you from, refrain from it. The truth of the matter is this: if you affirm the Quran, then you have no choice but to affirm the sunnah as well, as the Quran has directed us to do, and directed the people of the Quraysh tribe that separated the Wahi from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ at that time as well. Let me tell you another truth as well: if you reject authentic hadith, you inadvertently reject the Quran. The Quran directs us to look at the hadith for guidance, so you're a kafir. If you don't want who does this is a kafir. Anyways, if you learned something new, please drop me a follow. Assalamu alaikum.
What? The Quran refers to us to the hadith for what? For guidance? Anyways, just to prove to you, when they speak, they don't listen to themselves. And correctional officer is here for a reason. I want to prove to you the Sunnis do not have a brain. Starting from Mufti Menk, Zakir Naik, you mention all the Sunni popular guys you know. The Muhammad Hibijibis, all of them. They don't use a brain in Islam. They don't have it. Right? Logical brain. They don't have it. Right? The brain for the Hibijibis, they do have that one. Hibijibis, regardless of their degrees. The PhDs, post-Hibijibis, these others, yeah, that they have. So let me show you that even when it comes to articulation, they don't even know how to talk. I'm going to show you that. Watch.
Alaikum. If I told you that people, even at the time of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, used to treat the Quran and the Prophet as two separate entities.
He says, what if I tell you at the time of the Prophet, people at the time of the Prophet used to treat the Quran and the Prophet as two separate entities? He thinks he's going to say something wise, but listen to the damn thing he's going to say.
Yes, you heard me correctly. People used to treat the Wahid, the Quran, and the Prophet as two different things.
People used to treat the Wahi, their inspiration, and the Quran and the Prophet as two separate things. Are they not two separate things? Because the Prophet is on his own, and then the Quran is on its own. They are two separate. They are not the same. The last time I checked, is the Prophet the Quran? And is the Quran the Prophet? But they are not listening to themselves, right? So let me show you why they don't listen to themselves.
The Quraysh tribe in specifically used to affirm the claim that the revelation was true, but they never took from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This might start.
He says the Quraysh tribe used to affirm that the revelation is the truth. But that revelation, in whose mouth is it coming from? Because if they can say the revelation is true, in whose mouth did the revelation come from? Is it not in the mouth of the prophet? Because the prophet has to say it, right? So this argument you're trying to present, you are not making sense. You talking fast doesn't mean you are making sense. So now pay close attention to his heebie-jeebies.
Quraysh tribe in specifically used to affirm the claim that the revelation was true.
The Quraysh tribe used to affirm that they claim that the revelation was true from the prophet, but what?
But they never took from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Doesn't make sense. But they never took from the prophet. Then who did they take it from? Oh my God, these people don't have a brain. It is the prophet who now brought the revelation. They took from him. They accepted it's true. Then again you said, but they never took from the prophet again. I need a new brain. This one is full. I can't process this one. Oh, why? Why? Oh my God. I need a new brain. This one is full. The Sunnis have made this full already. I need a memory card. Hey, why? And he was loud. He's thinking he's making sense. Okay, let's continue. The madness has not ended. Wait, listen.
This might start sounding a little familiar because Quranists that only affirm the Quran in today's age do the same thing. Quran actually responds to this in Quran chapter 4 verse 113. And Allah has sent down to you the book and the wisdom, al-hikmah, and taught you what you did not know. And for your information, scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and
He quoted a Quranic verse. Now he left it hanging and he jumped to scholars. Now listen what he's going to say. He didn't say the prophet explains the verse to mean what he's going to say. He said scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and so who never met the prophet. He is going to tell us their point of view concerning what a verse in the Quran means. Why is this? Is my TikTok like it's freezing? Is it freezing? Is it? Guys, let me know on TikTok. Is it something is up? Let me see. Is it freezing? Okay, now I think no, it's doing up and down. Yeah, it's getting stuck. Is it okay? Okay, let me continue. If it's freezing, you let me know because I think I'm getting stuck in between. I'm seeing it that way. Okay, so he quoted chapter 4, verse 113, which has to do with the prophet. God says he taught him the book and the al-hikmah, the wisdom, right? So now listen what he's going to say the wisdom means.
you what you did not know. And for your information, scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir has interpreted al-hikmah.
Scholars like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir have interpreted. So now, listen, I'm going to show you some of the heebie-jeebies the Sunnis do. Ask any Sunni who is the one explaining the Quran. They say the Prophet Muhammad. Have you heard that before? If you haven't heard that before, now pay close attention when you ask them the question. Who is the one explaining the Quran? They say the Prophet. Yes, you heard it clearly, right? So now, why is it that when it comes to every single verse, they have to now tell you what it means? They have to tell you the opinion of their dead scholars. Do you see the brain they are using? It's a different type of brain. You get the point? Though, how can you tell me Prophet is the one explaining the Quran, and yet when there's an issue, we have to get the explanation? You now put the Prophet under the bus, then you go and bring your dead scholars to tell you their opinions as to what a verse means. So now listen, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Kathir, they are going to tell us, yeah, peace to you, Truth Unchained, I see you. They are going to tell us what al-hikmah means. Now listen.
As the Prophet's sunnah. Furthermore, not
He says Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Kathir interpreted al-hikmah to mean as the Prophet's sunnah. Is that how the Prophet explained it? Did the Prophet say that? Where did the Prophet explain this? To say al-hikmah means my sunnah. Nowhere. Because last time I checked, you guys said the Prophet is the one explaining the Quran. So, Akhi, it's simple. We just need that explanation of the Prophet, where the Prophet said al-hikmah means my sunnah. They don't have it. No, they don't. So it is their scholars. They call their dead scholars to be the ones to interpret the Quran now.
To mention Quran chapter 4 verse 80, which states that whoever has obeyed the messenger has obeyed Allah. See,
it's simple, because messenger delivers the words of God. So if I obey the messenger, I'm obeying God. Remember, I repeat, messenger delivers the words of God, not his own words, not the words of somebody, the words of God. So Quran chapter 5 verse 67, Ya ayyuha rasul balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik wa in lam taf'alu fama ballagta risalatahu wallahu yasimuka minan nas inna Allah la yahdi al-qawma al-kafirin. Chapter 5 verse 67. O you the messenger, deliver what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you do not, then you have not delivered his messages, and God will safeguard you from the people, for God does not guide the disbelieving people. So if I obey the messenger, I'm automatically obeying God, because he has the message from God to give it to me. Sunnis don't have this brain to understand this simple logic here. My son is 7 years and he can understand this simple logic, but Sunnis don't.
see how obedience to both is emphasized. They're almost equal. I can keep going. Quran chapter 59 verse number 7. Whatever the messenger has gave you, take from it, and whatever he forbids you from, refrain from it.
So they go ahead to misquote chapter 59 verse 7, which has a big context talking about the booty and spoils of war that the messenger will distribute to the people, the believers. Then it will not be rotated among the rich among them, so that other people can get the share. So he says, whatever the messenger gives you, take it. Whatever he refrain from it. Did he give us hadith books? That's a question to them. Did the messenger give us hadith books to follow? The kutubu sitta you are following, does he know about it? Did he give you those books? Why is it that this Sunnis, the brain is an issue? Using brain is an issue for Sunnis. Did the messenger give you your kutubu sitta, the garbage books you are using? Did he give you those books?
The truth of the matter is this: if you affirm the Quran, then you have no choice but to affirm the Sunnah as well.
How? Where did you get Sunnah out of the verses you quoted? All these verses you quoted, where did Sunnah come out of it? How? Hello? How? How did he get Sunnah in the verses he quoted? Ladies and gentlemen, where did the Sunnah come from? We say, come and show us Sunnah to Muhammad in the Quran. It doesn't exist. Come and show us Sunnah of the Prophet. It doesn't exist. Come and show us Sunnah of the Messenger in the Quran. It doesn't exist. So how can you tell us we are rejecting something which God never spoke about? Let's continue.
As the Quran has directed us to do, and directed the people of the Quraysh tribe that separated the Wahi from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time as well. Let me tell you another truth as well. If you reject authentic hadith, you inadvertently reject the Quran. The Quran directs us to look at the hadith for guidance.
Brother, you didn't say that. Brother, please. Brother, please. You didn't say that. I'm sorry. This guy, is he married? Please tell him not to get married yet. Please. It's going to damage somebody's daughter's brain. Please. Whoever owns this boy, tell him not to marry yet. He needs to be fixed. I'm serious. This guy needs to be fixed. You can't send him to marriage with this kind of brain. He's going to damage somebody's daughter. I'm serious. Please, if you know his family, please tell them. Correctional officer is warning. They shouldn't let him marry yet. Fix his brain before you send him off. I'm serious. It says the Quran directs us to look at the hadith books for guidance. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to all start marrying CCSO girls. because the hadith is our book of guidance now, unfortunately. Oh, Sunnis, why? Why? What is wrong with your brains? Sunnis, why? For God's sake. Oh, hey. Oh my God. Hey. The Quran directs us to look at the hadith for guidance. Oh, hey, these guys, I'm laughing overboard. My laughing has a limit. These guys. And this boy thought he was making sense. Hey, okay.
So you're a kafir.
The way he even said the kafir nearly gave me a heart attack. Hey, relax, bro. Bro, relax. You don't call me kafir. So the Quran directs us to go to the hadith for guidance. And you are carrying me a kafir. The way he said it, he nearly gave me a heart attack. Listen, how he said you are a kafir. Listen.
You inadvertently reject the Quran. The Quran directs us to look at the hadith for guidance. So you're a kafir. If you don't want to...
Hey. Oh, Sulis, why? Oh God, please. These people cannot be normal people among us. I think Sunnis are aliens. Wallahi. They are not normal. Hey. This guy came to do this video. He was frustrated. I'm serious. He was frustrated. Yes. Hey. Yes, salam to all those who are joining. I see you, Prince Girma, Cyrus Black. I see you, all of you. I see you, all of you joining. Yes, Anikan Kameni. I see SB, the skin consultant. I see you all. Thank you all for coming. Peace to all of you.
Does this is a kafir. Anyways, if you learned something new, please drop me a follow. Assalamu alaikum.
Actually, we learned something new. Yes, we learned something new. We need to follow him. We've learned something new. Hey. Sunnis, these guys, you're amazing. I'm serious. Sunnis are just amazing. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Quran is more in need of the hadith than the hadith is in need of the Quran. See, the Quran is the matan and the hadith is the sharh, meaning the Quran is the text and the hadith is the explanation. In fact, the ulama say that the Quran is more in need of the hadith than the hadith is in need of the Quran. How? Because without the hadith you can't understand the Quran. So much of it, you can't understand it. But what's in the Quran is in more detail in the hadith. In fact, the ulama say, and the rasikhin, the really big muhaddithin, they can point it out. Every single hadith of the Prophet ﷺ is associated with one ayat of the Quran or another. Two are never separate. Every single hadith is associated with an ayat of the Quran. So I think what we need to do, and this is actually something we should give priority to, we need to talk about this subject more. We need to give out, that information, the hujjiyah and authority of the sunnah, and we need to clarify this point, and we need to say it in bite-sized information for our community so that everybody can understand that this is a point of consensus. There's always been an ijma' on this point. There's no shadow of doubt, and the whole ummah is united upon this point.
So guys, this is an imam from Glasgow, Scotland. He's an imam of the Central Mosque of Glasgow. This guy, his name is Abdul Ghaffar, or is it Ghaffur? Abdul Ghaffur. He is a bozo, by the way. Yeah, he's a bozo. Yes, he's a bozo. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. He's a bozo. But let's listen to what he said. You know, I told you when the Sunnis are talking and you hear any nasheed at the background, that is the time they say some of the dumbest things. Pay close attention. Whenever you see a Sunni in a video and there's a nasheed being played at the back and he's saying something, be rest assured he's going to say some of the dumbest thing you've ever heard. So now I'm going to give you a breakdown. Then you see the stupid statement he just said, right? Okay. They use those nasheeds to hypnotize you. Yes, it's just there for your hypnosis. It's just there to hypnotize you. That is why they played a nasheed. So they put you in a frenzy where you are even listening. The thing doesn't make sense, but the nasheed is convincing you. It's like, believe what we are saying. You need to believe anything that doesn't make sense. Then, yeah, that's what the nasheed does. So the person can be saying some of the dumbest thing, but the nasheed is convincing you. Then the nasheed is saying, just believe, believe, believe. Then you feel like crying. That's what the nasheed does. I'm serious. So now let me go over. Then you see what I'm saying.
The Quran is more in need of the hadith than the hadith is in need of the Quran.
Quran is more in need of the hadith than the hadith is in need of the Quran. So which one is superior? According to this bozo, which one is superior? That means hadith is superior. If you tell your wife, you are more in need of me than I'm more in need of you. What does it mean? You're telling your wife that she is inferior, which means you can do without her, but she cannot do without you. That is an insult to the Quran. But these bozos don't see that. And this is an imam of a central mosque in Glasgow, that is in Scotland. Can you imagine this nonsense? But I'm not done yet. I'll prove to you the nonsense these people you put in the forefront to be spewing this gibberish to the people. I'll prove to you how bozofied they are in the head. So let's continue.
See, the Quran is the matan and the hadith is the sharh, meaning the Quran is the text and the hadith is the explanation.
He goes ahead to say the Quran is just the text. That's why they just read it for blessing. After God saying in Quran chapter 6 verse 155, he says, this is a blessed book that we have revealed to you. So follow it so that you may attain mercy. That is what God says in Quran chapter 6 verse 155. Then you have this bozofied imam with his beard like a... Okay, it's okay. Yes, it's okay. I'm not going there. Then he is telling you the Quran is just a text. Then the hadith is the explanation. The garbage books is the explanation. No problem. Let's go forward. I will prove to you how bozofied these people are.
In fact, the ulama say that
now he left this gibberish he just said. He's going to the ulama. Which ulama? The ulama of hadith books. And they are also going to say they are nonsense. Now listen.
the Quran is more in need of the hadith than the hadith is in need of the Quran.
So he repeated that first statement. The ulama said the Quran is more in need of the garbage books than the garbage books is in need of the Quran, which means the Quran is useless.
How? Because without the hadith you can't understand the Quran.
Because without the hadith you cannot understand the Quran, ladies and gentlemen. Because without the garbage books you can't understand the Quran, ladies and gentlemen. The book which talks about breastfeeding an adult male, the hadith books, breastfeeding an adult, and marrying a CCSO girl who plays with dolls, sleeping with 9 women in one night, having concubines, being poisoned, even though you know you are poisoned, but you eat the poison, What again? Yes, somebody murdering his wife just because his wife doesn't like you. So he murders his wife and you support the murder. This is hadith books. It explains the Quran, right? So he says, without the hadith, you cannot understand the Quran. Ladies and gentlemen, this is people you call imams of your masjid, and you are giving them the charities. These are the people you promote.
So much of it, you can't understand it.
He goes ahead to say, so much of the Quran, you can understand it. And here we have Abba Shuaib and the likes of you can understand the Quran. But they are telling us so much of the Quran we cannot understand without the garbage books.
But what's in the Quran is in more detail in the hadith.
What is in the Quran is not detailed in the Quran, but it is more detailed in the hadith book. Listen. So according to them, the hadith has more details of the Quran than the Quran has. Ladies and gentlemen. But if you ask them which one is difficult to understand, more difficult to understand, they said the hadith is more difficult. So can you imagine the hadith is the one explaining the Quran, but yet it's more difficult than the Quran. But it's supposed to explain the Quran again.
In fact, the ulama say, and the rasikhin, the really big muhaddithin, they can point.
The ulama say, then he says, those deeply rooted in the hadith, that is muhaddithin, those who narrate hadith, they said what?
Point it out. Every single hadith of the Prophet ﷺ is associated with one ayat of the Quran or another.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this lie from this bozo imam in Glasgow. If you are watching me, I know you watch me, by the way, because Baba Shaib, my name is all over there. I know you watch me. You are a bozo. You the imam. But listen to this stupid statement you just said without a brain. You said every single ayat is what? Connected to an hadith. Right? So come and show me the marriage of 6-year-old girl by the Prophet according to your hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari 5134. You claim he married a 6-year-old girl and consummated the marriage at the age of 9. Come and show me which verse of the Quran is this nonsense connected to. Apart from that, you said the Prophet slept with 9 women in one night. Come and show me which verse of the Quran is this nonsense connected to. The breastfeeding an adult male. Come and show me where it's connected to a verse that you have to breastfeed an adult male.
Two never separate.
oh my God. This scholar went ahead to say the two are never separate. The Quran and the Hadith are never separate. Then how come in your own Hadith book, Sahih Muslim 3004, the Prophet told the people to only write the Quran? He says, La taktubu anni. وَمَنْ كَتَبَ أَنِّي غَيْرَ الْقُرْآنِ فَلْيَمْهُهُ وَحَدِّثُ أَنِّي. He says, do not write anything from me except the Quran. If the two are never separate, how come the Prophet told the people, write the Quran, but don't write anything else? If they were together, then he should tell them, write this and write this. Right? Write it and write this. But then your hadith says, he forbade the writing of any other thing except the Quran. And even if you write something, he says, wipe it out, efface it. And you have it in your garbage book. But anyways, let's continue.
Two are never separate. Every single hadith is associated with an ayat of the Quran.
Wallahi, these people are working for the devil. Wallahi, wallahi, God bear me witness. Wallahi, they are working for the devil.
So I think what we need to do, and this is actually something we should give priority to, we need to talk about this subject more.
You need to talk about this subject more to fool the fools. You are fooled already. Don't worry. We are waking up the people who want to wake up from the slumber. We are waking them up. And you guys, your time is coming.
We need to give out, that information, the hujjiyah and authority of the sunnah.
Authority of the sunnah, right? You need to show the people the authority of the sunnah, right? Okay.
And we need to clarify this point, and we need to say it in bite-sized information for our community so that everybody can understand that this is a point of consensus. There's always been an ijma' on this point.
It's a point of consensus, ijma, by your scholars who decide this issue. It is not an issue for God and his messenger to decide. Hello? It is the point for your scholars to sit down and decide, right? Okay.
There's no shadow of doubt, and the whole ummah is united upon this point.
The whole ummah is united? No, the whole mushrik are united on this issue you just said. Yes, that I agree. The whole mushriks, not the whole ummah. The whole mushriks are united. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the bozos you put in the masjids and they are leading your prayers and whatever have you. The people God is angry with. These are the people who are leading you. Joe said it's African Union now. There is no time to waste. We must unite and we perish. Religion is a scam. Yeah, they scammed us, right? It's a scam, right? Okay, let's continue. So, guys, these are the people who are now becoming uncomfortable due to our uprising, right? Our uprising is making them uncomfortable. So let's go to the next person here.
If you're genuinely confused whether or not you should believe in the hadiths, or if the Quran itself alone is enough of a guidance for humanity, then let's reflect on these couple of verses from the Quran itself. And these verses are in Surah Muhammad, the chapter of Muhammad ﷺ, which I find very ironic, subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ وَلَا تُبْطِلُوا أَعْمَالَكُمْ. O you who have believed, obey Allah. And then Allah repeats obey again, and then says obey the messenger, and do not nullify your deeds, meaning do not apostate from the religion. Because disbelievers, their deeds are null and void in the next life. So here clearly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala separates between obedience of Allah and the messenger being two separate things. Why? Because he's repeated the word obey. If obedience to Allah and the messenger was the same thing, why would Allah repeat the word obey? If the Quran itself is enough, why would Allah not say obey Allah and obey the Quran? Why the messenger specifically? That's because obeying the messenger is obeying the sunnah, which is part of Islam, subhanAllah. And if anyone has any shadow of a doubt in what I'm saying, let's look at the next verse directly after this one. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَصَدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ مَاتُوا وَهُمْ كُفَّارٌ فَلَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَهُمْ. Indeed, those who disbelieve, straight after mentioning obey Allah and obey His messenger and do not nullify your deeds, indeed those who disbelieve and they block people from believing as well, and they die upon that, Allah will never forgive them. Subhanallah. If these two verses do not do it for you, then I honestly do not know what will. So from this we learn, as a summary, that Islam is comprised of two things: Quran and Sunnah, which is basically the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Together, they complete each other and present to you Islam as a complete package. They're inseparable. And anyone who says otherwise is someone who has made a grave mistake, because the Quran itself that they claim to follow pushes them towards that. And so I want to give you guys a reminder before ending this video that we live in a time where anyone can click a button and reach millions of people. They can speak with confidence, they can speak with such certainty, and sometimes people are swayed because of their certainty, and they can reach 1 million people straight away, just like that. So there's never been a time for me and you to stick to the people who have the credentials. They have the knowledge. They have something to back them, to back the knowledge that they're sharing before we decide to be swayed by them or believe what they are saying. Is that clear, inshallah? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wallahi, this guy is a scammer. He's a scammer, Sunni scammer. Now, let's break down the things he said, right? They are scammers in terms of logic. They try to use that kind of logical way of scamming their audience. Pay close attention.
If you're genuinely confused whether or not you should believe in the hadiths, or if the Quran itself alone, if you're genuinely confused whether or not you should believe in the hadiths, or if the...
So now he started with the matters of believing in hadith. So if you are generally confused as to believe in the hadith or not, This guy has the answer for you.
If the Quran itself alone is enough of a guidance for humanity.
That the Quran alone is enough for guidance of humanity.
Then let's reflect on these couple of verses from the Quran itself.
You see how he started the statement by saying, if you doubt hadith, then he goes straight forward to say that in case you are contemplating of following the Quran alone as guidance for humanity. Now he's going to quote the Quran to justify his reasons why hadith needs to be followed. So let's pay close attention. Remember, I'm the correctional officer. Let's pay attention.
And these verses are in Surah Muhammad, the chapter of Muhammad, which I find very ironic, subhanAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, ati'u Allah wa ati'u rasula.
So he is quoting chapter 47. Salam Salis, I see you, bro. Chapter 47, verse 33. Chapter 47, verse 33. He says, Ya ayyuha allazina amanu wa ati'u Allah wa ati'u rasula wa la tubtilu a'malakum. So he says, oh, you who have believed, obey God and obey the messenger, and do not nullify your deeds. So let's hear this mushrik quote this verse and what he has to say.
وَلَا تُبْطِلُوا أَعْمَالَكُمْ. O you who have believed, obey Allah. And then Allah repeats obey again, and then says obey the messenger, and do not nullify your deeds, meaning do not apostate from the religion.
So now what he's going to do, he's going to give his own version of interpretation. Not even his scholars, not even the prophet. He's going to give his own interpretation to the verse. Right? So now watch what he is going to say.
Because disbelievers, their deeds are null and void in the next life.
Are we disbelievers? Do we disbelieve in God? No. Do we disbelieve in the messenger? No. Do we obey God? Yes. Do we obey the messenger? Yes. Listen to his interpretation to the verse.
So here clearly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala separates between obedience of Allah and the messenger being two separate things. Why?
Do you see what he did? Even though God says obey God and obey the messenger is the same thing. Chapter 4 verse 80. It says man yuti rasula faqad ata Allah. Whoever obeys the messenger has obeyed God. God made it the same thing. This guy is making it two separate things. Not only him. That's what the Sunnis do. They separate the messenger from God. That the messenger is his own boss. He has his own things to tell people. So they disconnect between messenger and God. And God is telling us the messenger and God are telling you the same thing, not two things. Do you see the scam they are doing here? Guys, pay close attention. Correctional officer is only here for one reason. To show you the scam of the scholars. Wallahi al-azim, they are scammers. And they've done that to you for centuries. And this is why we have become a knapsack for them. They don't have a space to breathe. That is why they mention us every day now. Wallahi, you watch them when they talk about us. They are not comfortable now. Yes. Now see the scam he's going to commit.
Why? Because he's repeated the word obey. If obedience to Allah and the messenger was the same thing, why would Allah repeat the word obey?
You see how shallow-minded they are. That's how the Sunnis are. Very shallow-minded in the brain. Big head, small brain, like this in their heads. That's the Sunnis. Big head, small brain. And the funniest part is most of them has PhD. That's why I gave it a new meaning. Post-heebie-jeebies disorder. They do have these disorders. It's heebie-jeebies. They have that. You see what he just did? Even though God says obeying God and obeying the messenger is one thing, not two. Chapter 4 verse 80. These bozos will go ahead to separate God from the messenger and say God is the Quran and messenger is our garbage books, the Sunni books. That's how they do it.
If the Quran itself is enough, why would Allah not say obey Allah and obey the Quran? Why the
Another foolish statement again. Quran chapter 29 verse 51. God is asking you a question. أَوَلَمْ يَكْفِهِمْ أَنَّا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ يُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ. Is it not sufficient for them that we have revealed to you the book being recited to them? Is it not sufficient? So the book is not sufficient? Now this bozo is asking if the Quran is enough. Why is it that God is saying obey God separate and he's saying obey the messenger? What kind of whose husband is this, please? We need to advise his wife. I'm serious.
The messenger specifically. That's because obeying the messenger is obeying the sunnah, which is part of it.
Oh my God. Hey. Oh, where do these guys buy their brains from? Please. Oh, why? So now he gave his own meaning. That is because obeying God is the Quran and obeying the messenger is the sunnah. Hey, God says if you obey the messenger, you're obeying God. This bozo guy is saying if you obey the messenger, that is the sunnah. Subhanallah. Oh, hey, Allah. No. Anyways, let's continue.
Islam, subhanallah. And if anyone has any shadow of a doubt in what I'm saying, let's look at the next verse directly after this one. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَصَدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ مَاتُوا وَهُمْ كُفَّارٌ فَلَن يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ.
Where is the Sabilillahi, the way of God? Where do we find it? Is it in the Hadith books or is it in the Quran? So let's check the verse. Chapter 47, verse 33 to 44. That is the context. The 44 says, indeed, those who disbelieve, that is number one. Do we disbelieve? No. And turn away from the way of God. Where is the way of God? The Quran. Chapter 12, verse 108. Even the messenger, he says, Kul hazi sabili adu ilallah ala basiratin ana wa man intaba'ani wa subhanallahi wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen. Chapter 12, verse 108. The messenger says, this is my way. This way he's following. One. Hazi sabili adu ilallah. I invite God. That is the Quran. He says this. The messenger is holding the Quran. And he says, this is my way, which I invite to God. I and whoever follows me. This is my way. This in his hand. Chapter 12, verse 108. Write it down. Write it. I don't see you. Write it. I want to see you writing it down. Write it down. Chapter 12, verse 108. Write it down, please. Write it down. Before I continue, write it down, please, ladies and gentlemen. Write it. Thank you. He says, this is my way. I and whoever follows me. This is what the messenger say. One way. It is right in front of you. He didn't say another way. So when this chapter 47 verse 34 is saying that those who disbelieve, right, and turn away from the way of God. One way. Quran is the way of God. And God repeated that chapter 6 verse 153. He says, wa anna haza sirati mustaqiman fattabi'uhu wa la tattabi'u subula fatafarraka bikum an sabili. He says, this is my path which is straight. Follow it and do not follow ways. Do not follow other ways. Then you have mushriks, bozofied mushriks like this, quoting the verses of God and lying to you in the broad daylight. Scammers, religious scammers.
No. Indeed, those who disbelieve, straight after mentioning, obey Allah and obey His Messenger and do not nullify your deeds. Indeed, those who disbelieve and they block people from believing as well, and they die upon that, Allah will never forgive them. Subhanallah. If these two verses do not do it for you, then I honestly do not know what will.
How does these verses justify hadith books? Please, ladies and gentlemen, how does this verse justify following hadith books? Yes, exactly, Zardios. If they are claiming hadith is also from God, then it means I have to obey God and obey God. But they don't have the brain. That's why I'm telling you, Sunnis don't have brain to reason properly. I asked a Sunni, a Ghanaian Sunni, in a live dialogue on a guy called Avram bin Moshe, Common Sense Family. I asked this guy, Hafiz Buhari, a mushrik from Ghana. I asked him, is the Quran the word of God? He said yes. Is the hadith the word of God? It took him 5 minutes to answer me one question. He didn't want to answer. I forced him, then he said yes. So if hadith is also the word of God, that means I'm obeying God here and I'm obeying God there. So which one is obeying the prophet now, as you claim? Mushriks. Anyways, let's go. Let's go.
So from this we learn, as a summary, that Islam is comprised of two things: Quran and Sunnah.
How did he get that? What? You see the scam? These verses he quoted, how did he get Sunnah from it? Hey, Chineke, Chineke. Chineke, oh, Chineke. Guys, how did he get Quran and Sunnah from the verses he quoted? This is scam. This is scam. Wallahi, this is scam. Hey! Like, in front of correctional, he's quoting. How did he get Quran and Sunnah? Hey, 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 hey. Hey! Is he not the one who mentioned the way of God? Did God mention two ways? One way. And now he says Islam is comprised of two sources of... Hey, Sunnis. Hey. Let me go back. Somebody say go back. No, I've already played. You are watching. You just came in. You didn't hear what. If I go back, it's too much repetition.
Indeed, those who disbelieve and they block people from believing as well, and they die upon that, Allah will never forgive them. Subhanallah. If these two verses do not do it for you, then I honestly do not know what will. So from this we learn, as a summary, that Islam is comprised of two things: Quran and Sunnah, which is basically the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ.
Hey! Hey! Yeah, Mickey, the perception there is by insight, right? Basira, we call it basira, something which is insightful. So insight, based on insight, or you can say perception, right? It's something you can perceive. The way of God is something you can perceive with your eyes. This is the way of God, right? By perception.
Together, they complete each other and present to you Islam as a complete package.
Wallahi, this guy is a scammer. His name is Ustaz what? Riyadh. This guy is a scammer. Wallahi. He's a Sunni scammer. Yes, I'm telling you, he's a scammer. Religious scammer, lying to the people with the words of God. That's how they've been lying to the people.
They're inseparable. And anyone who says otherwise is someone who has made a grave mistake, because the Quran itself that they claim to follow pushes them towards that.
Hey! Hey! How does the Quran push us to the Hadith? In which way? The verses you quoted has nothing to do with that. As a matter of fact, look, in the same chapter, Quran chapter 47 verse 24, this is what God says. Yes, two in one pack. Yes, they are trying to do the same scam Christians did, 3-in-1 shampoo. Look, Quran chapter 47 verse 24. I'm going to read to 25. Listen what God says. It says, Afala yatadabbaruna al-Quran, am ala qulubin akfaluha. It says, do they then not contemplate the Quran, or are there locks upon their hearts? Then he says, Innal lazina artaddu ala adbarihim min ba'di ma tabayyana lahumul huda. Here it says, indeed, those who turned upon their backs, they turn away upon their backs after what had become clear to them of the guidance. What is the guidance? The book of God, Quran. That's why God says, Sharu Ramadan allazi unzila fihi al-Quran hudan linnas. Chapter 2, verse 185. God sends the Quran as a guidance for mankind. So those who turn their backs after what had become clear to them of the Al-Huda, which is the Quran, then God says the devil has enticed them and dictated for them. That is the devils of Hadith books. If you want to know the devils of Hadith, we read Quran chapter 6, verse 112. The devil give them the decoration of delusive speech. Zukraf al-qawl al-gurura. That's where they take their guidance from the book of the devils.
And so I want to give you guys a reminder before ending this video that we live in a time where anyone can click a button and reach millions of people.
Just like you did. You the scammer, you the Ustaz Riyaz, you just did. You just one click of a button and you reach millions of the people by giving it a title there, rejecting hadith, rejecting garbage books. You should write next time. Trash books, please. I'm giving you an advice. Next time, write rejecting trash books. Okay.
They can speak with confidence.
You just did. You spoke with confidence even though you are a liar.
They can speak with such certainty.
You just did with certainty, but you are still a liar.
And sometimes people are swayed because of their certainty.
People are swayed because you dress your beard and you dress like a hip-hop artist. Is it hip-hop or R&B? Guys, does he look like a hip-hop artist? This is R&B, right? He look like an R&B artist. Maybe Usher Raymond. Who does he look like? Is it Neo? Neo, right? Neo. Who wears the kind of cap he wears? This guy, he looks like Gentleman, by the way. Gentleman, that is the reggae dancehall artist. Gentleman. Yeah, he looks like Gentleman. The Sunnis, they have superstars. They even have Mortal Kombat artists, fighters in the Sunni. The Korra. Korra is part of the Mortal Kombat ninjas. Korra and Itachi. This girl Itachi, her name, you can hear the name. The name is like Kung Fu, Itachi. So, yeah, they have Octodus Mushrik. They have Muhammad Hibijibis. They have a full squad. Yes, let's continue. Yes, Moroccan. Yeah, Moroccan Shabi. Yes, that. Yes, Shabi. Yes, that's the right thing. There's a Moroccan Shabi.
And they can reach 1 million people.
Yes, you just did. You have over 300,000 subs on TikTok. Yes, that's what you're doing.
Straight away, just like that. So there's never been a time for me and you to stick to the people who have the credentials.
So now you are promoting your credentials. Yeah, the prophet gave you the credentials, right? He gave you the credentials to lie to the people, right? Or is it your puppet masters who give you the credentials to sit in front of the people and lie to them, right? So with all your credentials, you couldn't see that the Quran is the book of guidance, but it is your garbage book with all the credentials you had. As if when you come online, you just take your certificates and start showing it to the people. Like, hey, I have this certificate, I have this one, and I have this one, and I have this one, and I have this one. So come and follow me, guys. I have all the degrees and everything. Like, this is what you do, right? You just take your credentials and show it to the people. Bozu.
Have the knowledge. They have something to back them, to back the knowledge that they're sharing before we decide to be swayed by them or believe what they are saying. Is that clear, inshallah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mushrik scammer. Mushrik scammer. There is God. May God curse you guys with the lies you've been telling people for years. May the curse of God be upon them, inshallah. So let's play one of his video. Before we go to his last video, this guy is the most annoying among all the mushriks. This guy, Ramzi, his name is Ramzi. He has the page on TikTok, Dawa over that. This guy, when he talks, he's like a clown. This guy.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, follow what I revealed to you.
Not the one speaking, the one who is going to speak now.
How about this? There are 114 chapters in this Quran. How do you know Allah revealed the 114 chapters? How do you know that's what the Prophet Muhammad gave to his companions? How do you know?
I mean,
they ask you a question just like a pagan Christian will ask you. That's what the Sunnis do.
Don't. That's the point. You don't. You have no way of knowing. You only believe that because Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah spoon-fed that to you.
How do you know your hadith books actually had Kutubus Sitta, 6 books? How do you not know that you have more books than that? How do you know the books you have, how many pages you have in the book? Because the hadith book tells you how many pages are in the hadith books? Hey, what kind of logic is these people have in their head? How do you know that the Quran have 114 chapters? God already told you there's no falsehood coming into the Quran. I believe in God. The book is secured. So I need you, the Sunnis, to tell me before I believe the words of God? Seriously. Hey,
And because you need us and our ahadith and our isnad.
You see how they are proud of their garbage books? We need you just to know the Quran has 114 chapters. Okay, I need you, the hadith Yunus. You told me it's 140. Now what? Does that mean I should come and follow the CCS old marriage and everything again? How does their brain work, for God's sake? No, seriously. And these people are married with wife and kids. Hey.
To know that without our isnad, without Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, you hadith rejectors wouldn't know your heads from your rear end.
Hey. Guys, I cannot see my head. I cannot know my head with my rear head. My head from my rear head. I don't know. How do I know my head? Guys, can you ask the hadith followers for me? I need to know where is my head and my rear head. I don't know where it is. Or do I need to look at the mirror? I want to know my rear head and my head. This guy, I don't know which brain they use to talk. Oh my God. Hey, Allah Sunnis. Sunnis are just amazing. I'm serious. I just like those guys. They are my favorite comedians, by the way. I just enjoy watching them. Okay, so last video before we go. Let's
Rejecting hadith and believing that the Quran itself alone is enough of a guidance for humanity has picked up a lot of popularity in this day and age, and admittedly is causing a lot of confusion. People who are genuinely sincere, they just want to follow the truth. They don't even know who to believe anymore because there's so many different voices online shouting left and right, pulling them left and right. And so before I start this video, I want to share with you why you should listen to me. Now, alhamdulillah, for me, I studied in Mauritania.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a scammer. Wallahi. This is what a scammer says. For those who know scammers in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Hey, username 11, I see you. Yes, I see you. Username. Wallahi. This is how scammers talk in Africa. For people who know what I'm saying, Nigeria, Ghana. Are you here? Nigeria, Ghana, please. Hey, don't let me down. Nigeria, Ghana, please give me thumbs up if you are here. This is how scammers talk. They say, believe me, trust me. Believe me. That's how this guy started talking. Listen what he said in the beginning. Listen.
Rejecting hadith and believing that the Quran itself alone is enough of a guidance for humanity has picked up a lot of popularity in this day and age, and admittedly is causing a lot of confusion. People who are genuinely sincere, they just want to follow the truth. They don't even know who to believe anymore because there's so many different voices online shouting left and right, pulling them left and right. And so before I start this video, I want to share with you why you should listen to me.
God have mercy upon us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what scammers do in Africa. When they say now we have to listen to him. He wants to tell us why we should listen to him. Hey. Oh my God. Guys, I will let you see these Sunnis. How they are scammers. Wallahi, they are religious scammers. They scam people's brain. I'm not joking with you. I will expose these miscreants for you to see who they are. He is going to tell you why you should listen to him. And that is what a scammer does. Yes. You know, the guy, there's a video of the guy who was going for the bungee jump. The jump that they do, they put it's spongy, right? That they put the rope to spring. You remember there's a video of a guy they were about to push. He says, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait. Let me tell you something. Yes, he has nothing to say. But he said, let me tell you something. Now, this is the kind of guy you are listening to. Let me tell you something. This guy. So he is going to tell us why we should listen to him. We already listened to him in a video previously, right? But he's a scammer. Listen to me. Yeah, exactly. don't redeem the code. Listen to me. Oh my God. Hey, Sunnis. I just admire their stupidity. Let's go.
Now, alhamdulillah, for me, I studied in Mauritania. And alhamdulillah, I covered all of the major sciences when I was there at the feet of the scholars directly, alhamdulillah. And ever since coming back, I continued my studies for multiple years. And to this day, I'm still continuing my studies in all of the major Islamic sciences, alhamdulillah.
When they say Islamic sciences, they are talking about the garbage books. You watch, we see the books behind him. Those books, every Sunni use that as a metaphor, like as a decoration to convince you. Every Sunni scammer, they use those books, these hadith trash books, they arrange them behind them, right? Yes, the trash books. They put it so that you will be convinced that this person is knowledgeable. Wallahi, they are dead in the brain. I'm not joking with you. Dead on arrival in the brain. They will put those books is what they call their credentials. So that you think, oh, mashallah, he knows a lot. No, he doesn't know a lot. He knows a lot of trash. Okay.
And I also have a scholarly authorization in all of these major Islamic sciences, which includes hadith sciences too. And basically what a ijaza is, which is a scholarly approval, is basically like a uni degree, but comes directly from a scholar instead. And so I have this authorization from the scholars. And the reason why I mentioned this in the first place is that if you become ill, you'd make sure to go to a doctor for a diagnosis. You wouldn't go to someone who's not even graduated high school because you know that they're not qualified. And the reality is that most people who are speaking online, they're only just in high school. They don't even know what studying Islam properly actually looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a scholar. We have a scholar now. Officially, the scholars have endorsed a scholar for us. Officially. Yes. Don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to anybody. The Mufti, don't listen to anybody. We have a scholar now. This guy, it says is Ustaz Riyad. The guy say we should listen to him because the scholars have endorsed him to become a scholar for us. And he studied in Mauritania, in Africa. Right? So he has all the credentials, right? He says, don't listen to anybody in the high school. Yeah. Even though the Prophet and his Sahabas, none of them went to high school. Yeah. I don't know. Yes, the Prophet and his Sahabas, none of them went to high school. So he says we shouldn't listen to people who go to high school, but we should listen to him with the degrees, certified, university. Yes. Okay, we are going to listen. Let's continue.
And so they're the ones speaking really loudly, and they're the ones causing a lot of confusion. So let's now turn to the people who've actually covered this topic in depth from the scholars and has this authorization, and see what they have to say, inshallah. So this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why accepting hadith is undoubtedly part of Islam, and it's reasons that you need to reflect on. And for that, I'm going to share my screen and also go on a whiteboard so you can see everything visually, inshallah.
Let's give a round of applause for the scholar, Ustaz Riyad. That's our new incoming scholar, a new scholar, right? The scholars endorsed him as the scholar befitting to teach us why we should follow garbage books. Remember, garbage books, hadith books. He's going to convince us. So let's listen what he has to say.
Okay, so reason number 1 is that if you reject hadith, then by necessity, you have to reject all of history.
According to which law? Which law says if I reject hadith, I have to reject every other history? Which law is that? Hey, so these guys, Even though he just said the scholars endorse him as a scholar, all of a sudden he's passing the legislation. So is this what he said we should listen to him? By making a new law. Which law says if I reject Hadith book, I have to again reject every history book? We are talking about religious guidance. The Quran is a guidance for mankind, religious guidance. We reject Hadith as a source of religious guidance. If you want to take your Hibijibis history there, that's up to you. Who told you when I reject Hadith books doesn't mean I need to reject the history of Ghana, the history of Adolf Hitler and so on? That is not religious guidance. That is just a personal history. I can choose to disregard anything I want there. But now you are trying to make the Hadith book binding on us. You see the foolishness of your credentials that you have. You don't even know the brain on how to use your credentials. Do you see the problem when you come and say, listen to me? Let me show you why you should listen to me. Then you forget you don't have a brain. Let's continue.
Which includes, by the way, your great-great-grandmother's name. To that level. If you want to reject Hadith, by necessity, you have to reject all history, all the
by necessity, by who? Who made that law? How did these people reason? So because I reject Hadith, I need to reject the history of Ghana, which has nothing to do with religion. I need to reject the history of Saudi Arabia, which has nothing to do with religion. I need to reject the history of Adolf Hitler, which has nothing. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have no choice. So we have to listen to him. He's a scholar. The scholar is giving us new law. We need to reject also common sense. Yes. And we have to reject the Greek philosophers, the Socrates, and stop listening to them. Because you reject Hadith. Don't listen to them. Let's continue.
History you study in school, all the history that you learn about from online, even your great-great-grandmother's name, you have to reject it. Why is that the case?
Wait. Is name also part of history? So I should reject my grandmother's name because of Hadith books? Please, guys, help me out. Why are you making me talk alone? This scholar, is that what his scholars ask him to come and tell us? So, because of Hadith books, I should reject my grandmother's name. Hey, Tufiakwa. I'm using my grandfather's name, Baba Shraib. And this scholar is telling us now I should reject the name because I reject Hadith. So what name should I call myself? So I cannot use Baba Shraib. Hey. Oh, they reject. Look, somebody reported my page, my TikTok. Yes, they reported my TikTok. They said, let me screenshot it. They say live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. Your life is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results for the next 10 minutes because scary does not what? They wrote something. Scary does not comply with the for you feed eligibility standards under our. The restrictions will be removed and once you disconnect. Reason, harassment, and bullying. Hey, the Sunnis are reporting me for bullying you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sunnis are reporting me for bullying. They say I'm bullying their scholar. Guys, on TikTok, on YouTube. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Can you see? No, the screen is so. Oh, let me see. Let me do this. I don't know. The screen is so white. Oh, I wanted you to see the text on the screen. Oh. I wanted you to see the text. They reported my page. They reported my TikTok. They said I'm harassing and bullying their scholar. Yes, the Sunnis reported my page. I'm serious. Or is that scholar, is he watching me also? Oh, they wrote disconnect, scary. It says my life contains something which other people might consider uncomfortable. I screenshotted it. Yeah, I screenshotted it. Let me see if I can share it for the TikTok viewers to see it. Let me see. Let me share it. Let me see if I can share it. Is it? Can I put it on my wallpaper as my wallpaper? Let me see. Oh, it's been a while. I've used the wallpaper. I even forgot. Let me use this as a background, right? So people on this thing can see it. Can it? Will it give me the chance to use it as a background? Those on. Guys, those on TikTok, read what is written here. Those on TikTok, you can see it, right? This is what I just got. You see it? They said for harassment and bullying. Yeah. Restricted for 10 minutes. Yeah. So the Sunnis are frustrated because I'm bullying their scholar. It's okay. I'll not bully you again. No, it's okay. I will not bully you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sunnis. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not going to bully. Hey, where is the bully here? Hey. Okay, let's continue.
The way that the history of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has been preserved is just undeniable.
So with that undeniable, we cannot deny the 6 years old marriage, the sleeping with 9 women in one night, having a concubine, sleeping on one of his wives, with his concubine on one of his wife's bed, going to the Jewish woman, but he was poisoned, and so he was peeing standing. All these are all undeniable, right? Okay.
So first things first, if someone wants to come and say that this is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ said XYZ, we reject it by default unless it has the following 5 things. And these following 5 things all need to be available in order for it to be authenticated as sahih.
It wasn't the Prophet who authenticated it. These 5 criteria, it wasn't the Prophet who gave you those criteria. So you see what we call bid'ah, innovation. You guys innovated all this. And according to you guys, every innovation is dalala. Bid'atin dalala. Every innovation is dalala. And every dalala is misguidance, which will lead you to hell, according to your own hadith books. So when you innovate these rules for authenticating hadith books, who gave you that criteria? Who? Mr. Scholar, smarty Mauritanian scholar. Mr. Smarty.
Something that is actually attributed to the Prophet ﷺ. And so what are these 5 things? The first thing is a connected chain.
Stipulating 5 rules Prophet never gave you. Yes, I can see comments. I was not reading comments. I can see comments. YouTube, I can see. Is it Tan X47? I see your comments now. I can see comments. Right. I was just not going through the comments. Is this something I missed? Is it something I missed? Okay.
So for example, if someone's going to say that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said XYZ, then there needs to be a chain which is connected before it's published in a book. So for example, D narrated it from C, narrated it from B, narrated it from A, narrated it from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ directly. There needs to be a connected chain where you have the names of these people, which go back all the way until the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. This is the first condition that needs to be mentioned. The second condition is that every single narrator in that chain needs to have demonstrated excellent memory. So, of course, their biographies need to be known. So when they, for example, teach their students, do they recall everything very sharply? They recall verses of the Quran very sharply. When they lead the prayer, do they recite the Quran with pretty much no mistakes whatsoever? They have excellent memory. If every single narrator in the chain, every single one of them demonstrates excellent memory, then we can tick that condition off as well. The third one is known as i'dal, which is basically where this person or every single narrator in the chain needs to demonstrate that all their lives they avoided the major sins, backbiting, zina, so on and so forth. And on top of that, they avoided most of the minor sins, the things which are very small, but they're still sins. And they avoid...
Wait. Why do they have satellite in the time of the hadith trans? Was there a satellite which examines them in their room, privacy, everything? Hey, what kind of criteria for? So even with this criteria, they transmitted garbage books to us. Hey, they have to examine the person doesn't commit major sins, small sins, private sins. Hey, what kind of witch hunt is this? Hey, just to transmit garbage books. That's the criteria. Wow. Hey. Ha. Hey, so that means the people who transmitted that they are saints. So they are saints. They never do. They never commit sins, even though they rejected hadith from Hafs. You know Hafs, right? The one who has the most popular Quran version in the world, Hafs. They reject hadith from him, but they accept Quran from him. But they reject. And then you hear them saying the same people who transmitted the Quran are the same people who transmitted the hadith. How come you reject hadith from Hafs? You accept the word of God from him, but you reject hadith. Hey, I thought you people said hadith is also the words of God. Okay. Interesting.
Things which are halal out of fear of damaging their reputation. They demonstrated that care about their reputation as well. So we need to know their biographies so deeply so that we know how their lives were lived. And if that is fulfilled for every single narrator in the chain, that they avoided the major sins, they avoided most of the minor sins, they avoided even the halal if it's going to damage their reputation, then we can tick that third piece off. As for the fourth condition, which is shudud, this is where other people, other scholars, who are more trustworthy than these narrators, if they complain about the trustworthiness of that narrator, that condition falls apart. Meaning that every single narrator in the chain must not have been objected to by scholars who are more trustworthy than them. Or if they're less trustworthy, then there needs to be multiple that object to these narrators for this condition to fall apart. So if these narrators are all free of complaints from other scholars about their trustworthiness, we tick this one off as well, which of course necessitates that you need to know about their biography. And the final condition is that there cannot be any hidden defects, meaning this chain needs to be studied so vigorously, because sometimes a book might say that D narrated it from C, but actually they didn't meet. He didn't narrate it from C. And so you need to actually look into this chain very deeply, study their lives very deeply. Where did they travel? Where did they go? How did they meet? Where did they get these narrations from? And once you study this chain deeply and you can find that there's no hidden defects and all of these 5 different conditions are available, then we authenticate this hadith as sahih, which
Guys. Oh, Sunnis. Oh, why? Oh my God. Hey, what is wrong with these people? Hey. Hey. Yes. Is it coping? They are doing the work of God. Yes. Basically, they think they can do God's work. Yes. Sunnis are just amazing. Hey. Yes. Somebody says, are these people paid for this bullshit? BS. Hey. Hey. Sunnis are just amazing. I'm serious. They are just amazing. The I don't know what type of brain they are using. It's just amazing. They are doing things the prophet never asked them to do. The prophet didn't give them the legislation to do all this nonsense, to go through and search the history and check if somebody's righteous. That's the work of God. Only God knows who is righteous, who is not. Hey. So, guys, upon all these wasting things they did, wasting of time they did, they end up bringing these garbage hadith books. So these hadith books they call Sahih. These are the things they did to bring us this Sahih hadith. Hey! Guys, if you want to know these people didn't know what they were doing, I instruct you to read Sahih Muslim. If you have a book version, go to Sahih Muslim number 40. Or you should go to the sunnah.com and read Introduction of Sahih Muslim. Go to sunnah.com. Write Introduction of Sahih Muslim 40. Let me read it so that you see what it says. Introduction of Sahih Muslim 40. Please find it and read it. Let me tell you what it says. The introduction of Sahih Muslim 40 says, that is by Muhammad bin Abi Attab. It says, narrated to me, he said, Affan narrated to me on the authority of Muhammad bin Yahya bin Sa'id al-Qatan. He says, and on authority of his father, he said, yeah, Balogun, I see you, my dear brother. He said, we do not see the righteous more false in anything than they are regarding hadith. We do not see the righteous ones more false in anything than they narrating hadith. That is, regarding the hadith, they are far more false in telling lies, but they don't know. So this is what hadith says. Then the hadith goes ahead to say what? Ibn Attab said, so Muhammad bin Yahya bin Sa'id al-Qatan and I met and I asked him about it. And he said, on the authority of his father, you will not see the people of good more false in anything than they are regarding hadith books. Muslim said, he was saying that falsehood flows upon their tongues, although they do not intend to lie, but it's falsehood. This is Imam Muslim, the confession he has to make concerning hadith books of the people they call the righteous ones. Meaning the righteous ones are telling lies, but they don't even know it is lies they are telling the people. This is coming from the garbage book. Write it down. It is Introduction of Sahih Muslim number 40. If you check from the sunnah.com. But if you have the book version, then go to Sahih Muslim number 40. You see it for yourself. This is from their own hadith books. From their own hadith book. Ladies and gentlemen, let me put the phone number up. The WhatsApp line is there. You can call us a guest, and I send the link here. You can join as a guest also on YouTube and other platforms. On TikTok, you can send me a direct request and I'll bring you, right? You can send a direct request. I bring you on TikTok. So this is the link. For those on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, you can join as a guest. That is the link on the page. The WhatsApp number is there. You can call via WhatsApp call. TikTok is also there. You can send a request. If you're a Sunni, you're welcome. Yalla, bro, I wait for you, bro. You can send a request. So it's there. Yes, so you're welcome to join. Yes, I have Zardios joining as a guest.
Hello, Salam.
Yeah, salam, bro. How are you?
I'm fine, bro. Yeah, the Riyadh guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like, to be honest, I found that he's actually lying about the history thing, because historians, when they measure history, they go with mass transmission. They don't go with single chain like hadiths. They don't
Yeah.
do that. So it's not
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same criteria. But even if he has to use that as an argument, they are trying to put religious guidance same to equivocate, like to in equivalence of um, history, general history. They are not the same thing. We are talking about
Yeah,
religious guidance, which has to do with salvation between us and God. It has nothing to do with what human beings think. It's about what God says. This is the difference that the Sunnis don't understand. So, Quran chapter 2, verse 38, God says, when guidance comes from me to you, whoever will follow my guidance, this is what God wants you to do. Follow his guidance. He didn't say follow somebody else's guidance, right?
yeah,
But these people don't understand the difference between God's guidance and the guidance of men. So when you are telling me about history, history is a choice. I can decide to believe or reject history. It's not binding. History is not by force.
yeah.
You
And
understand?
even historians say that hadith history is weak, like it's really weak.
It is academically, it cannot be substantiated.
Yeah,
Yasser Kadi said it, and they came after him.
yeah,
They cannot prove it academically. No, they
you,
can't.
yeah. But that doesn't mean you can reject history, because like even historians say that, look, so many people said King Henry VIII had 6 wives. So many
Yeah,
people said that. But with hadith, it's like only Abu Huraira, no other companion says what he says. That's
yeah.
like very bad. That's like
The
one
problem
citizen.
is history is not binding on people. You don't force
Yeah,
people
it's,
to agree
yeah,
with history. But the moment you are
yeah.
saying hadith is binding on us, who made it binding?
It's not religious. It's not religious.
That's the problem. That's what they don't understand. That is the intellect they don't have to comprehend. I know the feeling. It's a bad feeling that you waste your time, you pay for tuition, you go for years of academic studies, and then you are told that whatever you learn is useless. That's why they feel hurt.
Yeah,
Yes, that's why they feel hurt. They feel like all these years they wasted to learn hadith books and whatever you are coming to tell them is useless. Then they get angry. So that's why they are trying to force a space for hadith books. But still, it's trash.
yeah. And historians do say that the Quran does go back to the Prophet's time. They do.
Of course.
The
That's
academics.
why that's why they checked it through history, artifact, they find the pages, the extracts to confirm that. Historians, look,
Yeah,
you will not say you have the truth for people to just sit there and look at you. People will examine what you have to present.
yeah, yeah. I had a question, right? About, so I want to know if this is a right take. You know how the people in the Quran, like Allah says in the Quran, people ask the Prophet questions, and Allah says the Quran is being revealed, so people need to wait. And we know in the Quran, people ask questions, people ask about this, people ask about the fasting, people ask about the Hajj or different things.
Yeah.
Um, so do you think the right interpretation of, when the Quran says it's an explanation to everything, it's like in like everything, meaning all their questions that they're giving the Prophet? Or
Clarification to what is concerning guidance. That's why God mentioned guidance first. When he says Tibyana likulli shayin, then he started mentioning wahudan. You see?
yeah,
As guidance and mercy and good news. So he started mentioning guidance first. So the clarification has to do with guidance,
yes,
mercy,
yeah,
and good news. It gives you clarity on all that. that.
Yeah, I see. I see. So you know the verse in you know the verse in chapter 6, verse 114, I think. No. I think yeah, 114.
Shall I seek
Is
a judge? Yeah.
does that verse say explanation to everything, or is it
No.
uh
Explain in detail. It doesn't say explanation to everything in that verse. In that verse particularly.
okay. Oh, okay, yeah. The other question I had was you know about the jizya compensation thing. Um like
It,
I read like a
Surah
few
Tawbah.
verses. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That verse, like I read a few verses down, right?
Uh-huh.
It talks about, you know, the rabbis and monks are like defrauding people with the wealth. So do you think like the jizya is because the rabbis and monks were, you know, using their money in the wrong way? Because it says like a few verses down that.
No. Let me show you something. Um, when it comes to money, God already refutes that issue. When you read chapter 9, verse 28, God talks about money there. So in chapter 9, verse 28, God says, "Oh, you who have believed, the idol worshippers, the polytheists are only polluted. So they shall not approach the sacred mosque after this year of theirs." So in Arabic, it says, Ba'ada amihim haza. Then he says, and if you fear for financial support,
Mm-hmm.
that is I letter. This word used, I letter. This I letter is financial support.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is where God mentioned finance. But listen what God says. If you fear for financial support, then God will enrich you from his favor if he wills.
Mm-hmm.
So if God is saying he will enrich you from his favor, is he now saying go and tax people?
No.
Okay. So now verse 29. If you read my translation, if you go to my page, read chapter 9, verse 29. Now the word jizya doesn't only mean tax.
Yeah. Can
That is
mean
why,
compensation or something, I
thank you.
heard.
That is why God, first of all, in chapter 9, verse 28, he refutes the argument for financial support. They don't have to be dependent on the mushriks for money. It is God who has to enrich the believers with that. So
Mm.
now, verse 29, fight those who do not believe in God, nor in the last day, nor do they outlaw what God and his messenger have outlawed. Then he says, nor do they profess the religion of truth among those who were given the book until they give tribute by force while they are subservient. The context here is not talking about money. It's not talking
Mm-hmm.
about they giving money. How that they giving money get to do with what they outlaw?
I see.
So that is where you read the 28. 28, they have been banned from coming to the Masjid al-Haram. In verse 28, I read earlier, they've been banned from approaching the place after this year of theirs. That's what God says.
Yeah. Yeah.
So being banned because they are rich, then God says, if you, the believers, fear for financial support, because then now you have to be dependent on them for finance, right? Then God says he will enrich you from his favor. You, the believers, he will do that for you. But now, the reason why he says, fight those who do not believe in God, and the last day, nor do they outlaw. Now, if you have been given a state to live, and you have laws in the state, and somebody comes in your state and he wants to do contrary to what your law suggests, what will you do?
I would be against him.
You fight him.
Yeah.
Because
I would
the
stop him, yeah.
believers now own the Masjid al-Haram. Now it is being given to them. And God told them the mushriks are not supposed to attend that place because the mushriks have a different law. They don't follow the laws of God.
Yeah.
They don't believe
Yeah.
in God. They don't believe in the last day.
They, Yeah.
So they've been banned from the place. So now, if they want to come to that place, what do they have to do? They have to give tribute to the truth, to God, to the religion of truth, to everything God has commanded the believers. You have to now agree to that. If you don't agree, then we don't need you to come there.
What do you mean? What does you mean by tribute? Like, as in, like agreeing with? Or
Of course, agreeing with the standard God has set, the laws of God. You come to the state where believers are ruling. Are you going to agree with the rules of the believers or not? Are you
you
coming to
have to agree with the land, like everything.
exactly? You cannot say I'm coming to the US, but I don't agree with Donald Trump's laws, so I'm bringing my own laws. What do you mean? Are you getting the point?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So you don't have a choice. You have to conform with the laws the believers have in that zone. It's not like they are forcing you to become a Muslim. No. But as long as the laws is what they have, that territory, you have to give tribute to that.
I see.
Yes, you don't have a choice. It's not about coming to give money. And then they say you have to pay 2.5 tax. And then the tax will do what? The money will do what?
The money will be with the government.
You'll be with the government and still go against the law?
No, you can't go against the law. Like, yeah, there needs a law so that they don't go against the law.
It's not about money. If it's about money, God will show you the percentage. It's not about money. So I want to show you something. In Quran chapter 8, verse 41, I want to show you if it has to do with money, God will show the percentage which needs to be paid. So in Quran chapter 8, verse 41, God says, and know that whatever you capture of spoils, then indeed 1/5 is for God and for the messenger and for the relatives and the orphans, the poor people and the wayfarer. If you believe in God and what we have revealed to our servants on the day of the criterion, the day the two assemblies met, and God is capable of all things. So now, this same God can be able to tell me something I can give 1/5 out of it. And these mushriks are telling us that this same God cannot tell us if it has to do with tax. He cannot tell us what percentage of tax.
I see. So this verse gives the amount, right?
No, here is talking about capture. If you capture spoils, let's say you go to war,
Yeah,
and you win the booty, the war spoils.
yeah. You give it to
How?
these.
Yes, how it should, the percentage it has to be
Yeah,
shared. God says 1/5.
yeah.
So now, the same God, are these mushriks now telling us the same God? If he wanted people to pay tax or something, he cannot tell us the percentage.
Yeah, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, if it is like an actual tax,
Yeah,
there would be a percentage, or there would be
exactly.
a.
Exactly. He will tell the believers how much percentage they should take from the polytheists. He never said that. So this is why in Quran, one word doesn't only go with one meaning every time. You have to check the context of what the word can possibly mean. Again, it's not necessarily saying about money. If it is money, then the question is how much percentage the believer do they have to pay?
I see.
Just like when people translate the verse in chapter 4, verse 34, they said you should beat the women. Just ask the simple question: beat the women with what? What should I use to beat the women with? What?
A toothbrush. I'm joking, not toothbrush.
They said toothpick.
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 I see.
Can you imagine you take a toothpick? Do I even have a toothpick? I don't have a toothpick here. So I have one in the washroom. Can you imagine taking a toothpick? Let me give you an example. So let's say this is a toothpick. For example, this is a toothpick. Then I say, your wife does something wrong. You want to beat her. Then you come, you say, hey, Asna, come here. Come. Why did you do that? Come.
Imagine you're yelling and you're doing it. You're shouting and doing with the toothbrush.
No, like you carry the toothpick and yeah, come. I want you to feel the pain. Come. Then you say you do that like 3 times. These people, they don't use their brain. They don't have brain. I'm serious. So that is the beating they say you should do.
I see.
So how is that relevant? Because the verse is not talking about beating women. Okay, now God talk about nushuz. If you fear the dissension of a woman, the nushuz. When you say nushuz, it's like a discord of your wife. If you fear with that, this is the trap there. Because God knows disbelievers, mushriks, and so on, hypocrites who will try to interpolate a new meaning from their own side just to go with what to cause deviation, to cause fitna. So when it says daraba, they take it literally, that it means beat. When they say salah, they always take it literally. It means pray. Whenever God says something, they take it literal. You see what the mushriks do?
Yeah.
You understand? This is why they pray for the prophet. Because they think Salli Allah means pray for the prophet. You understand? So this is what happens. They don't read the text to contemplate. Quran chapter 38 verse 29. God says, He says, Kitabun anzalnahu mubarakun. Kitabu anzalnahu ilayka mubarakun liyadabbaru ayatihi wa liyatazakkara ulul albab. God says, it is a blessed book which we have revealed to you so that they may contemplate its verses and that those of intelligence will take it. So Quran is not just a mere book you just read. You need to reflect on the verses, contemplate what is being said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That verse 434, when it says if you fear no shoes, it makes sense in that verse because before that part in the verse it says that the wives guard what's hidden of what Allah would guard. So
Yeah,
I've
well,
heard
God
that
mentioned it.
I heard this the interpretation of that could be secrets between husband and wife. Because if you can fear that, like it would be, if you only told her and no one else, then it would be fine to like fear, like because no one else would have said it, like
Not only that, the nushuz, the word nushuz used there, it generalizes a lot of issues, not only a secret. It generalizes a lot of things, right? It can be infidelity and so on, like a wife and husband, the
yeah,
husband leaving the wife behind, she goes to do something, it's a package. So the nushuz also goes with dissension. Sometimes people can be angry, they can disrespect you, and so on. But husbands can also be disrespectful to their wives. It's mentioned in the Quran, chapter
yeah,
4, verse 128. Husbands also have nushuz. So it is not only
yeah,
women who have nushuz. So
yeah.
now the question is, if husbands can beat their wives because of nushuz, now the question is, since husbands can also have nushuz, does it mean the wife should also slap you?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're saying slap is both,
The slap is daraba also in the Quran. If you say
yeah,
daraba, according to chapter 8, verse 50 to 52, the angels will slap people from the front and the back. The word daraba is used. So I'm saying hypothetically, if people are justifying that men have to beat women, that's what I'm saying. Does it mean women also
oh,
have to give a man a slap?
that would be yes, yeah,
So it is
that would
not
be
about
the case.
beating. That is why I use the word. If somebody says men are supposed to beat women, the question is, beat them with what?
uh,
Remember, Quran is a clarification for all things.
yeah,
So it is not about beating. If it's beaten, then something is left out. God will have said, beat them with a stick, just like he told Moses. What did he tell Moses to do with the stick when he wanted to
to
dash
strike the
forth
ground.
water? Thank you. He used the water to get the people the water. It is used the staff to strike the stone.
Yeah,
So same way, if he wants you to beat women, he will say, use your stick or use something to hit the women, or use your
yeah,
hand, slap them. But it's not talking about beating. That's why I say God is talking to intelligent people. So don't think Quran is only about knowledgeable people. No, somebody can be very knowledgeable, but he doesn't have intelligence. It's very stupid.
yeah. So in 434, when it says but do you take the part, when it says women guard from what is hidden of what Allah would guard, it's like
From what
husband
God maintains.
secrets.
No, not what is hidden. The word hidden is not there.
Oh,
Yeah. So chapter 4, let me put it on the screen. Chapter 4, verse 34. I put it here. Wait. On the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So here, this word here, he says, thus the righteous women will obediently guard in their absence by what God maintains or what God guards. Now, the reason why it mentioned the word guard for the women, it has to do with something of the unseen. This hafizat lil gaib bima hafizallah. So now the woman has to protect herself. She has to preserve herself
Mm.
in the unseen. Now we know between a man and a woman, the most likely things to cause a dissension between a man and a woman is the number one on the list is infidelity.
Yeah.
That is talking about absence. If one spouse is absent, the highest issue that can happen is infidelity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what God maintains is the woman, somebody should not commit adultery or so on. That is number one priority. But when we come to the nushuza, every issue concerning secret and all disrespect and everything is packaged inside the nushuza.
Yeah, because like like sometimes the women can use the secrets to like apprise and be like, oh, I know your secrets and I know these hidden things. And
No, not only that. Now, in a marriage, both partners can use secrets against each other. But
yeah.
it's what I'm saying. That's why I mentioned that the shoes that men have it, women have it.
Yeah.
A spouse, married couples, it gets to a point when they are tired with each other. They can be disrespectful to each other. They can go out telling each other secret to their friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And you only told your wife as well, so like the fearing here, it makes sense if you fear nushuz.
Yeah, if you fear any shoes. So what God is suggesting here is when you fear the issues, the discourse, the dissension, you have to admonish them. Faizuhunna. You advise them, you admonish the woman.
Yeah.
That then you abandon her in the bed. You see, when a husband or when a spouse leave one of the other alone on the bed, they know something is wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? Then they want to find out, what did I do wrong? Why are you not sleeping next to me? Then he says, "Wadribuhunna." This "Wadribuhunna" is not taken literally as beat them. No. You see, the reason why it's not to
Yeah.
be taken literally, because God says, "For in ata'anakum fala tabugu alayhinna sabila." If they obey you, then do not seek a means against them. So now seeking a means against them mean you want to go to the extra mile to beat to strike them or something. So now this is where it is not talking about literally beating them. So now the next verse will give you the hint. So the next verse says,
Okay.
if you fear their dissension, if you fear their dissension between them both, then send an arbitrator, that is arbiter, that is somebody to represent her from her family as a judge. Then you send somebody to represent the male also as a judge from his family. Then now he says, if they intend to reconcile between themselves, God will grant success. Indeed, God is omniscient and cognizant. Now remember, in the Quran, retaliation is allowed, right?
Yeah. Eye
Quran chapter
for eye.
2, verse 170. So now imagine if the husband slaps the woman, and then a judge has to come from his family, and a judge has to come from my family. What will happen?
Uh, the woman would be allowed to slap
Thank you.
the guy.
Thank you. So the slapping has to be retaliated if that is the case. So can you imagine if the lady has a judge coming from a family to come and represent her, and the judge is a macho man, her brother is a macho guy, and then you, the husband, you are slim, very very slim, like the guys who ride in the 1,000 distance marathon, and then the husband will come and sit on the chair. Sorry, the brother will come and sit on the chair. Maybe he's a military brother. He's from the military, maybe U.S. military, or which military in the world is very aggressive? Like, so
I
which
I I
military?
I don't the TikTok to get banned if I
Okay,
see the
no. But anyways, so imagine her brother is part of the military, and then he comes as a judge to represent her. Then he found out that you as slim as Mofara. You know Mofara?
yeah the runner. Yeah.
Thank you. The runner, the Somali runner who runs for Britain, the UK. Now imagine. Then the brother will just come, Russian military, yes. Then he will come and sit and he say, "Who slapped my sister?" Then you'll be standing there like Mufara and say, "I slapped her because she's disrespectful." What do you think will happen?
Like I'll be attacked. Like I can't even use the like toothbrush to defend myself. Like nothing.
On that day, you need a bulletproof, not bulletproof, punching proof.
Yeah.
Is going to squeeze you. So then, yes, the verse is not talking about literally beating women. It's talking about yadribuna, which means to renounce. Because let me tell you how the steps work. Look at the context. When you admonish a woman from nushuza, according to God, you abandon her from the bed. Now, abandon a woman from the bed is closer to getting to separation, because the moment you stay away from a partner in the
Yeah.
room, when you see couples living together and they start to sleep separately, they are getting closer to separation.
Yeah.
So that's separation. So the renunciation is more like separating from her. Then now, if she decide, okay, we can reconcile, let's talk. That's when you sit down to talk the differences. It's not about beating her for what? No. If it's beating her, then God will tell you how to beat her. He will say, okay, slap her face, or maybe spank her from the back. God never said all that. So, but the people who say the Quran say we should beat the women, just ask them a simple question: how did God say we should beat them? How many slaps? 3 slaps? What? Can I kick her? Can I headbutt her? What? How should I beat her? No, no way is God talking about beating her.
See, so you're saying is like separate. Uh, is that the word? Is it separate or
The
what
word is
was the?
renounce, renounce, renounce.
Oh,
In the
okay, I see.
classical
I see.
Arabic language, you find it adraba. Adraba exists in the classical language. Adraba as renounce.
Agraba.
Adraba. Adraba.
Adraba. Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
Let me. I think I can maybe show you on the screen before you go, because I've given you enough time. So let me see. We have
Yeah. Thank you, by the way.
this in important. I want to show the word on the screen before you go. So verses. Verses. Vindicate International. So we go to almani.com and let me share this tab. Oh, the page is down, but let me see if it comes. Okay, yeah, it comes. So here, I'm going to put the word. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, I want to show you the word. This one. This is the word.
Okay.
Do you see the
Side,
word?
remain, stay. Oh,
Do you
abide.
do you see the word?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Do you see the renounce?
Yeah, I can see. Or
Yeah.
refuse, renounce.
Yeah.
Halt.
So,
Halt means stops, right?
yeah.
Halt is stop. Yeah.
Yeah. So the proper word you can use is renounce or refuse them. Because the moment you abandon her in the bed, you're staying away from her. So refuse them. You can use refuse them, but the proper word to use is renounce them.
You're saying because it's like not fully dunya, the separating. This is
Yeah,
like the last step.
it's not divorce, but it's separating. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, because like you can't separate without being divorced. Like divorce can be after separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Peace. Thank you. Thank you.
Peace. Okay, so I've done 3 hours. Let me see. 3 hours. Okay. People on TikTok, let me see if we have somebody with a brain. Any Sunni with a brain. TikTok. Did I miss anything in the comment section? Let me see. Ali D9K. Can you call? The number is on the screen. Can you call? Let's hear your voice. Let's see if you are somebody with a brain. Call, and then let's talk, please. I need a Sunni with a brain, please. TikTok Sunni with a brain. I'm 3 hours on YouTube. I might be ending the live stream soon. If you are a Sunni here, write in the comment section. Let me bring you up. People have sent requests, but I don't know who is who. I don't know which one is a Sunni here or which one is. Any Sunnis in the comment section? Sunnis, please. Oh, why is my this thing freezing? What is wrong? The shikak is more like a dissension. It's a form of an argument. This shikaka, when you have this kind of dissension with your spouse, continuous argument. When there's a bad energy in the house, like you guys, having fight constantly, arguing about things, that is dissension.
Bluetooth connected.
Yeah, I know. Finding a Sunni with a brain is a miracle. It's very hard to find a Sunni with. And my phone is freezing. I don't know what is wrong with my. What is wrong? Let me do this and open again. My phone is freezing. I don't know what is happening. So let me open TikTok again. Yes, Mohammed Rizal says, Baba, it is a miracle if you find Sunnis with a brain. I know it's a miracle. It's very difficult. But I need a Sunnis here. I don't know. Okay, I think now the thing is good. It's moving well. I have John Damkan. Yeah, peace, bro. Can you hear me? Hello, Johnny. Johnny. Yeah, Johnny, you are here. Uh-huh. Are you away from your phone?
No, I'm by my phone now, but I hit you by accident. I apologize.
Oh, it's by mistake, huh? Okay, because I was thinking of bringing Sunnis and I saw you send. I'm surprised that you are
No.
sending.
No, brother, I'm with you.
I know, but I was just surprised when I saw that. Anyways,
Yeah.
you keep on watching. Let me deal with the Sunnis. Thank you.
Oh, I will. I apologize.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Peace. Okay, so let me see here. There is Damkan. Damkan. Yeah, Damkan. Accepted your request. Are you here, Damkan? Safaya Muslimas, you're welcome. Salam to you. Hello. Hello.
Basic question. So I recently found out about your page, so I don't know much about the work you are doing, but I find it interesting. Some of the things you say are logical. So I just have a basic question that I want to know about. So is it that we shouldn't follow the footstep of the Prophet at all, or is it that when we follow the Quran, naturally we are following the teaching of the Prophet? So this is what I wanted to know.
Yeah, so the Prophet himself, he followed the Quran alone. He never followed any other book. The character of the Prophet, you find it in the Quran. The Quran decorates the Prophet. So when you follow the Quran, you're automatically following what the Prophet did, right? So all the other things they wrote on the side are not authorized by the Prophet, and neither did the Prophet did those things. They are just false allegations against the honorable man. So the words of the Prophet are found in the Quran, and the actions of the Prophet are in the Quran. Any other thing you don't find in the Quran is not part of the guidance of God.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Peace. I need a Sunni, please. Sunni. If you are a Sunni, write to me in the comment section. Let me see that you're a Sunni, please. Once in a lifetime, say, Salam, boss. Let me ask a few questions, please. I need a Sunni to make it interesting. I just don't like the notion of answering. Sometimes it gets boring. I need Sunni to make it, exciting. Mickey, Salam, boss. I have been waiting for months. No, I've never seen. Guys, moderators, have you ever seen this guy's name? Once in a lifetime, 195. You ever seen this name here? He says he has been waiting for months. I never seen you in my live stream. Maybe God don't want you to suffer of their ignorance. that is a good point. That we have somebody in the back session. Ahmed, let me talk to this person.
Am I audible?
Lying.
Hello?
Yeah, Salam. Your name is Ahmed?
Yeah, just hold on. Let me check my mic. I'm just connecting. Yeah, just give me a minute. Just give Hello? Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, thank God. Yes, sorry, what's the topic? What's the topic?
So you were not here from the beginning.
Sorry, just recently joined.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm a Sunni, but you can have a word. I'm a Sunni. Yes, you can have a word if you want to.
Okay.
Hello.
So I don't get, why did you call? Hello? Ahmed. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, why did you call?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask what's the topic.
And
Nobody's joining, so I decided just to have a word. What
I
is
said,
going on?
I only said, why did you call?
Yeah, it's just to discuss, bro. What is going on here? What are we talking about? What worst nightmare uh, have been done? I just want to know.
Did you watch my program at all?
No decisionally join. I'm just interested to know. You're talking about the Sunni ulmas or the Islam, right? That's
No,
in the thumbnail. Okay.
I'm
So
talking
what
about
nightmare are you talking?
I'm talking
Hadith.
about hadith rejectors.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So you believe there should be no hadith, only Quran?
No,
Okay. So
I
what's
don't believe.
your point then?
I don't have a point. What is your point?
I mean, I consider it as a fair point. Okay, we do not have to believe in hadith. Then what should be our base for Islam? Obviously, that will be the Quran by logical stance. But
Okay.
okay, if we don't even accept the Quran, then you tell me what should be the base point of Islam then, if not even the Quran or even the Hadith, what should be there? Taqleed or the ulmas?
But I never said we shouldn't believe in the Quran. I believe in the Quran.
Yeah, so bro, that's what I'm asking. That okay, you say that you don't believe in Hadith. Okay, so it should be Quran then. The Quran should be the base of your ideology, Islamic ideology, right?
Why? Is it not your base of your ideologies also?
It is the base. I'm asking you. You're saying that you reject the hadith. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, do you believe in the Quran? Will you accept the Quran as the base if we show you from the Quran?
But what kind of question is that? If I tell you I reject hadith, it's obviously there's the Quran is my base. Why are you still asking me this?
Yeah. Okay. Bro, just confirming. Why are you so? I mean, exaggerating. I'm just confirming, bro. Okay. Why
Bro,
not?
why you are all over the place? This conversation we're having, you are the one who is all over the place. I'm just listening to you.
Okay. Okay. You can ask. No issue.
I
You
should
can
ask
ask.
you what should I ask you?
Anything? Okay. If you're saying I'm out of the place, okay, I'll give you a chance. Okay.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. That's the only thing I ask you. That's no.
Yeah, I'm single.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever watched my videos at all?
Not recently. Just saw the thumbnail and couldn't get it. I just wanted to join. No, I haven't seen your videos before.
You need to watch my video first. Then you can come. Let's have a conversation.
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
So it's all right if you don't want to talk. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
Somebody says, please stay single. One in Jamaica says, is he looking for a date? The last statement he said before he left was just something else. It's like, it's okay if you don't want to talk. Yes, it's awkward. It is an awkward conversation. Ali, please call. I only need to hear your voice. Let's have this convo, please. Don't be in the comment section typing, please. Call this number. You've been here several times on my page. Just call. Hey, MPH Music Group, I see you, man. Yeah, he knows me. I know. Just call, please. Don't be in the comment section just typing. I don't have the time for that, please. So guys, I'm almost 3 hours 30 minutes on YouTube. I'll bring your YouTube session. I'll bring the YouTube session to an end soon. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Your name.
Please,
your
I'm
name.
sorry. When, my name is Ishaq.
Okay, Ishaq from where? Ghana, right?
Yeah. Please, I'm so sorry. When I was invited, I was playing audio before I joined the distance, so I didn't know the audio will be playing. So I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. When I heard it, I thought you were just trolling. So.
No. I didn't plan it.
Okay, no problem. How may I help you, Ishaq?
Please, I want you to explain this.
Can you speak up in the phone? We cannot hear you. Speak in your phone, please.
I said, if you can explain Quran chapter, Quran 33:21 for me.
Okay.
Quran chapter 33.
33:21. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. It says, Surah Al-Ahzab, there has certainly been a good pattern in the messenger of God for you. Then he says, for whoever for you, whoever is expecting God in the last day and remembers God frequently. So in the messenger of God, there is a good example. There's a pattern we have to follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please, which are they?
We find it in the Quran. By the way, the messenger, it says Rasul. So messenger, everything concerning the messenger is found in the Quran. So for instance, if he is asked, yes, alunaka anil ruh, when you ask about the spirit, God will tell him, kul. So then he says it. He gave the answer. Anything he gave the answer, you have to give the precise answer and follow the same thing he gave. So for instance, you go to Quran chapter 2, verse 219. Yes, alunaka anil khamr wal maisir. When they ask you about wine and gambling, then God tell him, say, Kul fihima ithmun kabir wa manafihu linnas. Say in them both is a great sin and a benefit for the people. So these are the things you find concerning the messenger, and whatever God has instructed the messenger is in the Quran. So for instance, Quran chapter 5, verse 67. God told the messenger, Ya ayyuha rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik, wa in lam taf'alu fama balagta risalatahu, wallahu yasmika minan nas, inna allaha la yahdi al-qawm al-kafirin. So as a messenger, whatever God instructed him is found in the Quran, and he has to he has to act based on the command God has given that. So here in Quran chapter 21 verse 7, listen what God says concerning the messengers, right? So in Quran chapter 21 verse 7, and I'm going to read up to, let's say, verse 10. So here God says, we did not send before you except men to whom we inspired. So ask the people of the remembrance if you do not know. We did not grant them bodies which did not eat food, nor were they immortals. Thus did we confirm for them the promise, and we rescued them together with whomever we willed and annihilated the prophet. We have certainly revealed a book to you wherein is your remembrance. Will you then not reason? Now, one of the reasons why I'm quoting this verse to you concerning what God has inspired this honorable man. Number one, I want you to see that he's a human being. The things he does from the Quran can be emulated. He's not immortal. Everything he does is based on the command of God. Verse 9, we confirm the promise and we rescued them together with whomever we willed and annihilated the profligates. Now, these messengers of God followed exactly what God instructed in his book. Because they practice it, when we also practice it, that is a message for us. So here, verse 10 says, we have suddenly revealed a book to you in plural form, wherein is your remembrance. Will you then not reason? So anything we want to find concerning the messenger, it is in that book, not somewhere else. God wants us to reason. So if you are asking me to about chapter 33, verse 21, to think that whatever the messenger does is outside the book we are going to find, then there's a problem.
Yes, so can I say, since you don't believe in hadith, so why is it necessary to
speak in your phone? Well, speak. We cannot hear you. Speak into the phone.
Okay, I said it. What I'm saying is that you said you don't believe in hadith, so
which hadith?
Reference
which hadith?
You say, but you don't believe in all the hadiths, or you believe in
which hadith?
Some hadith. Hadith of the Prophet.
Prophet doesn't have hadith.
But you quoted, you make a reference about Sahih Muslim, introduction of Sahih Muslim, then you were...
That is not the hadith of the Prophet. The Prophet never gave people hadith.
Okay. So, those hadiths that are saying the Prophet prayed like this, or the Prophet said, pray as you see me.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen you? Have you ever seen the Prophet?
The Prophet.
Have you ever seen him?
No, please. No.
Have you ever seen him praying?
No.
So it is not about you then. Yeah, Salam Baba said, that hadith has nothing to do with you because you never seen him. So forget about that hadith.
Okay.
Let's talk about you who follow hadith books. Where did the Prophet ask you to follow hadith books?
But in the Quran, Allah said we should follow He, Allah, and then His Messenger.
Did He say follow hadith?
The Quran is.
Did He say follow hadith?
Allah and the Sunnah is what the Prophet left for us to.
If you say that, you don't sound normal when you say that. I'm asking you, the following of the hadith, did the messenger ask you to follow hadith?
Yes, in the hadith.
How many books were given to the Prophet?
Quran only.
Thank you. Who gave you hadith books?
The hadith book is from the Sahabas of the Prophet.
Who gave you hadith books?
The hadith is just what the Prophet said, and then people.
I didn't ask you what is the hadith. No, I didn't ask you what is the hadith. Who gave you the hadith books?
Who gave me?
Yeah, who gave you hadith books?
No. Nobody gave me Quran. I came and I met Quran, and
I didn't ask you the Quran. No, I'm not asking. No.
In the same criteria.
Listen. That's a straw man. That's a straw man. That's a straw man argument. God asked us to follow the Quran. It's in the Quran. He said we should follow the Quran. I'm asking you, who asked you to follow the hadith books?
Allah said, "Atiullah wa ati Rasul." So following the Quran is following Allah, and then The sunnah of the Prophet is.
Are you married?
Following no, please.
Yeah.
So please let me ask you this question.
You don't have any other question to ask me. I don't think you don't.
Please let me ask
I
you.
don't think you want to learn. You are not here to learn, right? You just want to argue. I ask you simple questions.
It's not about argument.
No, I said you are arguing. That's what you're doing. I'm asking you a simple question.
No.
You're beating around the bush. I ask you, who asked you to follow the hadith? That's the question I ask. Who asked you to follow hadith books?
Nobody asked me to follow Quran. So nobody also asked me to follow the.
It's okay. Go and get
Sunnah.
married. Don't follow the Quran. It's okay. Bye-bye. Oh. Hey. Brain. Guys, YouTube is okay. For those on YouTube, you can join on TikTok. I'm just in 30 minutes. I'm ending, right? For those on YouTube, I'm sorry, I need to end the live stream. I don't want it to get to 4 hours. It becomes boring for people to watch. So I might trim the video down from the beginning. I think I wasted about 15 minutes. I'll trim it down so people can get to watch it adequately, right? So join TikTok if you want to see people with the heebie-jeebies, right? Join TikTok. So, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Restless Native, I see you joining. I see RJ 83861. He says, did the messenger did the messenger to follow hadith? Yes. Did the messenger ask you to follow hadith? He says yes, in the hadith. Yes, he's using hadith as his backup. So guys, on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Kick, this is where I end the stream for now. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for the comments, the shares, the likes, the super chats, the gifts, everything. I appreciate all of you. Death Rebel, thank you for the gifts. Thank you. So guys, this is where I bring the stream on these platforms to the end. On TikTok, I'm still here for 30 minutes more before I go. Right? So thank you very much, guys. Thank you. JS, thank you. Thank you, guys. All of you. Cyber, Rizzy. I know most of you. I see most of you might have TikTok. So yes, I'm ending the YouTube stream for now till we meet again. Hopefully, let's see what happens on Sunday. This coming Sunday, I might be able to do a live stream. Last Sunday, I had to sleep early because I was extremely tired, so I couldn't do the live stream on Sunday. I was sleeping, very, very tired. I just said, let me take a nap, like 1 hour, 2 hours, and then I woke up and it was one something, and I was like, damn, I'm tired. And I knew if I had come online, you guys would see my sleepy face. I don't think that the Sunnis have to see that face on the camera. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and Twitch. This is where I bring the live stream to an end. Hopefully we meet again during the weekend. I appreciate all of you. I bring this to an end. Hasta la vista. Till we meet again. Always give them a reason to remember your name. The correctional officer.